Can't escape from the team. Call the morning steam. It's time to break, run for cover. That's gonna cover. That's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice or might play a parlay. It's the morning steam. What? Ramon Scott. Sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money. You know how we do it.
All right, and a pleasant good morning to you, coming from the sports betting capital of the world, Las Vegas. This is Ramon Scott, and welcome to the Morning Steam Show here for Wednesday, January 28th. We've got a nice little card here, NBA, NHL, and college basketball today to get rolling here with our sports betting days. So thank you for joining us here on the Morning Steam Show. We'll get to the action here in just a moment. I'm going to recap the action from yesterday. Thank you for joining me here on the show. We got some steam rolling in too. That's the most important thing on a day like today with all that busy college basketball. Let's start it off with some steam here. So we didn't get that much yesterday while we were on. So let's talk a little steam here today and what games are on the move right now. Just moments ago here on the Morning Steam Show, we did see a move here come in with the under with the Knicks and the Raptors. We're starting off with some NBA steam here just moments ago. This one's been on the move lower here with the Knicks and the Raptors. This one was as high as 224. Now here we are at 221.5. Steam to the under right now with the Knicks and the Raptors today. And steam rolling in here. Wow, get things going right now with some of these moves. Let's hear it. Just moments ago, it was, let's see here, steam to the under with Tennessee and Georgia. This one's a write-in game. Want to note that here right now. Tennessee, Georgia was postponed there. A little bit of one more weather game. Might have been the last, hopefully, of the weather games. This one steamed to the under here between Tennessee and Georgia. It was 160, but we're seeing that one move lower here right now. Just moments ago, and it's down to 159 here, juice to the under at Bet Online, so it may go to 158.5. There's some steam to the under there in that one with Tennessee and Georgia. Okay, if that's what you say to the sharps here. Right now, also coming in a move here on Xavier just moments ago in their matchup. Xavier just took the steam here moments ago against Seton Hall. Xavier was getting 7 points, but right now the steam has just come in on the Musketeers, and right now it's down to 6 here. Steam to the Xavier Musketeers. They were getting 7, now 6. Here with that move. Also, East Carolina took the steam in their matchup with Rice. East Carolina was 1.5 point favorite, but not any longer. They just got hit here, and we're seeing East Carolina up to -2 or so right now. Was 1, so point move there for East Carolina with steam just coming in here moments ago. Also, Oregon State and Loyola Marymount steam to the under here in this one in the West Coast Conference tonight. It was 141.5. We saw the steam come in just moments ago to the under here with Oregon State at LMU down here to 139, 2.5 point move to the under with that one with Oregon State and Loyola Marymount. Here also, Kennesaw State took the steam here moments ago in their matchup with Western Kentucky. They were a 5.5 point favorite, but steam came in here on Kennesaw State. And we're seeing this one now here currently at 7 for Kennesaw. So got about a 1.5 move there on Kennesaw State just moments ago. And let's see here. Also got another one here that came in with the over in the matchup between Florida and South Carolina. Steam to the over here in this one with the Gators and the Gamecocks. Right now it was 150.5. We're seeing the steam here to the over with Florida and South Carolina. Right now we're seeing that line at 153.5. That's a 3-point move or so in that one to the over with Florida and South Carolina. It was 151.5 when the steam came in, but it opened 150.5. Also, Florida got steamed in that game as well. See if that one's injury related here. Florida was a 10.5 point favorite. Right now they're up to 12 here, Florida. So Florida and the over getting hit in that one. Also, Minnesota in their matchup against Wisconsin. Minnesota took the steam. They were getting 8.5. Steam came in on Minnesota. It's down to 7.5 here right now. Steam on the Gophers here this morning. And that might be it for the action here. As we get rolling here, we'll get you more steam here as it comes in. All right. Overnight, we did see that late night action with Yannick Sinner sweeping in 3 sets over Ben Shelton. Hopefully you were with me over at winnable.com/Ramon. Sent this out as my late night, early morning play. I said here, take Yannick Sinner to win in 3 sets. That was our pick overnight with our free picks. Take a look at that. Let me go over there to winnable.com/Ramon and so show you how that works kind of when I talk about these winnable plays. If you haven't been on board before, let's take a look here at that action from overnight. There it is. Our ATP VIP selection there was on Yannick Sinner minus 2.5 points, 2.5 sets on the set handicap there over Ben Shelton. Also, a tough break there last night. If you had Lorenzo Musetti as a $2 plus dog against Novak Djokovic. Bummer, man. Could you imagine? You're in a matchup with Djokovic, who is what he was 55-0 in matches when he lost the first set. Or he was on a 55 match winning streak after losing the first set. And that continued, unfortunately, for Musetti to 56 games. Musetti up 2-0, trailing in the third set as he started to show the fatigue of the injury, was down 3-1 and had to retire up 2-0 on Djokovic in a major. Could you imagine in a Grand Slam? Oh, man, that's heartbreak right there. Sometimes we blame these tennis players for going out. They're all complaining. Their latest thing is they don't like cameras. They don't like to be watch them anymore. But they're complaining about being seen privately smashing their rackets like the cameras are following them around. Hey, go to your hotel room and after you lose and throw a temper tantrum, trash your hotel room or something. But really a bummer there for Musetti. Also, the women's action over in Australia. Pegula over Anisimova. Won't show you that pick on here, or maybe I will. But we did have one winner there in the NHL with the over, Vancouver and San Jose. NBA, we did have our only winner. Our only pick was a premium winner there with the under with the Knicks and the Kings. And there's our winner in tennis. I had Anisimova, but Pegula kind of dominated. Then I had Rybakina over. Iga Swiatek as a winner there. And check out all the action over there at winnable.com. And you see some of the action there from yesterday. 3-2 in the college plays. There they were. We had the over in the St. Joe's game there with Loyola Chicago. We also had the under with VCU and Richmond yesterday. And what was the other winner there? Virginia Tech and Georgia Tech game to go under. So that's how you do it over at winnable.com. Use the promo code STEAM to save 20%. You get these plays delivered directly to your phone or device over there at winnable.com. I give extra plays every day. Hopefully, I'm going to give you a bunch of winners here in just a moment with our sports betting card, but you can get more action from me over there at winnable.com/Ramon. So be sure to check those out. It's only 41 cents a day when you use the promo code STEAM. So why not get more plays from me? These are delivered 30 to 60 minutes usually before game time. Sometimes got some overnight action. We'll try to take it down here today with some picks as well. Let me start to say hello to the picks. Everybody's filing in here on the show. We got a couple dozen of you here already. So let me say hello to the folks in the chat as we get the activities going here. And say hello to Nuke in the chat. Thank you, Nuke, for stopping by. Welcome in, and good to see you there. Twisted, ready to go as well. So great to see you like that. All right. And there you go. I think what's happened was I'm just tired here. Oh, you mean on the picture? I'm like, I'm tired. I was watching that tennis there all night. Well, it didn't go that late, actually. But yeah, well, you know what? I'm blue-eyed. I was going to sing a song there. All right, we got some action here coming in. Let's see here. Oh, that's not something we cover here on this show. Anybody want any second division soccer steam? Let me know. Okay, let's see here. Nuke talking about the action there. Let's talk a little bit about college basketball. Yesterday, Nuke said, how about the Huskers plus the points here yesterday? We had some winners here on the morning steam yesterday, including the Nebraska Cornhuskers against Michigan. Yeah, they didn't get it done. They did get it done for Nuke plus the points, but oh man, bummer for Nebraska. Blew that lead. I don't know if they blew it. Michigan did a nice job there to win the game. Nebraska gets the cover, but did end their long winning streak. So Michigan got the win there last night over Nebraska. It was 75-72. I would say this one was one at the foul line. What about you guys? Michigan, 19 of 23 at the foul line. They missed 4 free throws in the game. Nebraska took 4 free throws in the game and made 3. So I'll say that Michigan won it at the foul line there yesterday. They were double-digit favorites. Nebraska led by 7 with 8 minutes to go in the game. Remember, didn't have this information. Maybe we should have, looking at that spread, and we took Nebraska. So I don't know if it's shame on us. They did cover, but Nebraska was without 2 starters in the game. They were sick. The whole team was sick, apparently. So they almost pulled it off last night, Jordan-esque fashion, but Nebraska still got the cover. But they were missing 2 starters. We didn't report that information on the show. We didn't know. I didn't know that there was illness within the team. Remember what you always say, if one guy's sick, more guys are sick. And apparently the whole team was sick. There were reports. And that's why there was also kind of a move to Michigan even in that game. But did have that one there for a winner on the Morning Steam show. Also, Morning Steam winner, Arizona State and Central Florida game did go under for a winner here on the Morning Steam show. And also a Morning Steam winner here yesterday with, make sure we got these right. Here, let's see, that might have been it actually for the show yesterday. I think we had some other plays here. I'm trying to think of what they were. Okay, let me get this steam in here real quick. We'll get back to that. We'll try to find the winners if there were any others. There were plenty in NBA and NHL. I know that. Wyoming and Utah State. We're seeing some steam right now in this one on the under with Wyoming and Utah State. This is something that I think I can get behind here. Wyoming and Utah State here, steam to the under right now. It was 151 or so. The opener anyway, 151 in that game, and right now we're seeing it at 149. So a little 2-point move there with Wyoming and Utah State. Some steam coming in on the under here in that one here this morning. All right, let's look more at maybe the action here from yesterday in the NBA and NHL. I know we could come up with some winners here on the show, including the Washington Wizards in their matchup with Portland. Yeah, we had the Washington Wizards. I know that is our pick here on the morning steam yesterday. The Wizards were able to win and cover. A win, obviously, there as an underdog against Portland yesterday. Also, here, morning steam winner with the Knicks, 103 to 87. So we had the side and the total. We nailed that game. We laid the Knicks there with minus 14.5 or so. They won by 16. I think it was actually less than that on the air. Also, morning steam winner yesterday, Detroit and Denver game to go under. We keep talking about the unders, right? They were almost all under yesterday, except for that Milwaukee Philly game. But other than that, I think they all went under, didn't they? I keep saying, and I don't set out where Mikey was talking about it yesterday. Was it yesterday or the day before? Talking about when you end up on a bunch of unders and you're like, did I just really go under in all those, or did I take all those underdogs or favorites? Well, we've been going under a lot. I know that. That's my style. But right now, in the NBA, that's the way to go. All I'm doing is punching in the numbers and then using my own artistic what do they call it? Artistic, can't even think of the word, you guys. My own creativity, I guess, try to say. Hey, San Diego and Pepperdine, we're seeing some steam here to the under in this one.
Getting directions to Pepperdine University.
I didn't ask for directions to Pepperdine University, Siri. All I said was the under in San Diego and Pepperdine, okay? You just butt out of it here, but it is, let's see, 4 hours and 37 minutes if I were to leave right now to go to this game tonight. Okay, thanks a lot, Siri.
Starting route to Pepperdine University.
I'm not going to Pepperdine University, Siri. Calm down. Jeez. She has to butt in on everything here. I mean, man, I'm going to turn her off here. Oh, gee, so to speak. Not going to the game. San Diego and Pepperdine steam to the under here in this one. It was 150.5. I wonder what else, Siri. A good thing she doesn't say everything that I'm doing here behind the scenes, getting ready for the show. That would be embarrassing. San Diego and Pepperdine here, some steam to the under right now. This one is at 148.5. So 2-point move to the under there. Oh boy. Let me continue on maybe with some of these winners from yesterday. Brooklyn and Phoenix. We had the under there in that one as well for a winner here on the show yesterday. It was 106 to 102 in that one. Brooklyn got the money again there. Phoenix could not cover. NHL winners yesterday with Buffalo and Toronto. We had the over in that one and the 7-4 win. Buffalo wins again. We won. Also, Jets and Devils. We had the over there in that one. 4-3. Jets got the win. We had the Mammoth on the road over the Panthers in the 4-3 win yesterday. Morning steam winner there. Also, a morning steam winner, Blackhawks and Wild. 4-3. Wild got it in a shootout. Blackhawks squandered a 3-1 lead there in the third period. Minnesota went on to win it in a shootout. Also, late night, we did have it was a push. Oh, darn. Okay, right there. Seattle beat Washington late night 6-1. But we did have the Sharks. Of course, we have the Sharks on the road against Vancouver. That was a morning steam winner yesterday. Sharks win again on the road. All right, that was a Nuke giving us the update. Let me see, wind it down here a little bit with your comments. Thank you to Twisted in the chat here today. Hey, everyone, like this video, subscribe to our channel, Sports Money, here on YouTube. Fastest growing sports betting channel. Bobby Mack is here. Also, AOD is ready to go with today's games. And We're here on the Morning Steam Show. 54 games. I've got about 8 of them I'm going to preview here. So 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48, 56. Maybe one out of every 7 games, I guess we're going to do here. Steve says, remember when Steve Kerr played for Arizona basket? Remember when I told that story yesterday? I think it's a well-known story, but I mean, like I said, Steve Kerr's dad was, assassinated when he was in high school as he was preparing for his career at Arizona. So I know a lot of people want to give this guy a hard time, especially all my friends from the right in the chat. But come on, I mean, nobody wants that to happen. Nobody wants that to happen to anybody. Hey, we do have one postponement here. I think we knew it, but is it official right now? Let me see here. It may have already. Okay, here we do. Yeah, the bummer. Okay. One of the afternoon games has been postponed here. We said, is this the last of the weather games? But Pine Bluff and Grambling has just been postponed, or I'm getting the word of it right now. This will be made up on February 4th. This one was at 3 Eastern and noon Pacific. It might have already been announced, and I'm just catching up to the news here. But Pine Bluff and Grambling is postponed here, one of our afternoon games today. So it actually leaves us with just one afternoon game, Mississippi Valley and Southern. So that just in off the high-speed sports wire, to my knowledge. Pine Bluff and Grambling has been postponed today. Okay, more of your comments. We get rolling here. Bobby, man, come on, Ro. Yeah, Bobby, but you know what? We just can't have it, for one person, or maybe there'd be a couple others who are interested, I think. I mean, we got 3 dozen of you in here. Everybody loves a little steam, but I think we might bore everybody. We read off all the steam out there. Greg Gibson is here today. Andrew K. is here. Greg said Nebraska did blow it. Okay, I guess so, but I really think they got jobbed at the foul line most of the night, actually. Terrell says, how about Virginia and Notre Dame? That was a good game last night, Ramon, the double overtime game there yesterday. Yes, you got that one right. Notre Dame led by nearly 20 in the first half, but that lead got whittled down to 6 in regulation, and then Virginia was able to tie it. How about the freshman for Virginia DeRitter with 32 points and 8 rebounds? Virginia wins it. They've won 12 of 14. Also, I want to mention Miami of Ohio. They did win again to go to 21-0, one of 2 unbeaten teams left across the country here. UMass led by 10 late in the first half, but Miami's so clutch, aren't they? Red Hawks improved to 21-0, and look, all these games. I mean, they beat Buffalo in 2 overtimes. They beat Kent in overtime. They edged UMass. It's funny, they almost have to still win the conference tournament, believe it or not. I don't know if they. Well, I guess they'd have to keep them in there, but look. The strength of schedule, which is one of the most important things in the committee's mind, right, when putting in at-large teams. Say Miami of Ohio does lose in the conference tournament. Say they go all the way undefeated, right, and then lose in the conference tournament, and they have to sit there and they're 29-1, and they're wondering, they should still get in, right? Miami has played the 3rd easiest schedule in the country. That would be ranked 363. So whenever anyone brings up Miami, you could point that out and say they're playing an easy schedule. Right? So funny to think about. You think about all those other teams. Oh come on, doesn't some of these small teams? But remember, a lot of those small conferences play big teams throughout the first part of the season. On those payday trips. So it's Miami of Ohio, 363rd on the strength of schedule list this season with that 21-0 record. So, it's great. I think we all want to root for them for sure. But Indiana over Purdue there as Coach DeVries wins his first game against the Hoosiers, in-state rivalry, of course. Purdue lost its last 3 games now after a 17-1 start. Did you see the Illinois-Chicago game against Indiana State with Illinois-Chicago scoring on that steal and layup with 2 seconds left in the game? There, Indiana State led by 2 with 16 seconds left. Illinois-Chicago has won 5 in a row right now. Also, St. Louis beat GW after GW led by 15 in the first half. Arkansas beat Oklahoma. Oklahoma led by 13. College basketball, man, don't sleep on anything that happens in the first half. Don't hesitate. What was some other, another one was it yesterday or the other? Yeah, it was yesterday, right? I had a pick on one of the, which game was it there? It was in the Nebraska-Michigan game. I had the under in that game. The score was 50-48 at halftime, and the total was 154 in the Nebraska-Michigan game. You've got to, nobody rips up their tickets anymore. There's no tickets to rip up, but how you say this one's lost, right? You would rip up your ticket in that one. Well, they only scored like 43 points in the second half, and it went under by like 8 points still in the Nebraska and Michigan game. So don't sleep on those first half results in college basketball this year. Right now, you're bound to get a chance with these comebacks here a little bit. All right, let's see what else is going on. Terrell says we all had the Wizards there. Steve left. Tyrion talking about the win there for the Sixers. That one I think I got wrong there, right? Yesterday. That one, yeah, I was on the Bucks and the under. So, all right, let's see here. Cold temperatures still okay. We're still going to get some postponed games. Gerardo's in the chat. Nice to see Gerardo in there. Parma Jake as well. And all right. There, I'm catching up to you guys laughing there about the Siri incident. Chris Warren, like Sean Elliott back in those Arizona days. And how about Cal? Also here. M the Great is with us. And let's see, anybody else saying hi to? Okay, I think we're all caught up. Get ready to start the show here with all the news there. I think there was any other big headlines there yesterday. They introduced Mike McCarthy as head coach of the Steelers there yesterday. Oh, I guess nobody may mention the chat. I mean, obviously the big story yesterday, Hall of Fame wannabe Bill Belichick here probably should have won a few more Super Bowls. I mean, I guess 6 isn't enough. Belichick said himself it was all politics. And how can it not be there? Look, if you look back on it, voters and things like this always are going to find a way and hold a grudge. Spygate and Deflategate, look, there was $750,000 in fines. There was suspensions in those, loss of a number 1 draft pick. Those are the things that worked against Belichick and getting the first-time ballot. I know it's easy to say right now, and I agree. I mean, I wouldn't vote against Bill Belichick there, even with those incidents. I thought the incidents at the time, especially Deflategate with Brady, look, it was a great quarterback. I don't know if the little air pressure was going to totally change everything, was it there? But that was a little bit awkward there not to include him in the Hall of Fame. Okay, I think that's fair to say there. So that, I guess that was the headline yesterday, right? With the news. All right, and let's see what else. I think that might be it. We'll get the show started. We got to get the show started here. Give me your take on that one if you want, with Belichick not going into the Hall of Fame on the first ballot. Does seem kind of ridiculous, though, right? But oh well. All right, and let's see here. Coco didn't like her racket. She smashed it. Right? Also, let's see here. Belichick also hated the media. Right? Remember, it's funny, right? Though you think of those press conferences, though, and you'd have to say it was almost not an act, but maybe he just wanted to remain close to the best in a lot of things he did with the media. Because you look at him now, right? Um, he's pretty gregarious here, even with Miss Jordan in tow. Can I say it like that? But if anybody watched that, remember when he first had a show there about 5 or 6 years ago, maybe it was 7 years, that show where they were talking about, was it the NFL's greatest 100 greatest players or something? Bill Belichick is a true historian of the game. You could almost talk about him being one of the greatest historians of the game, or at least people who are in the public eye there. I'm sure there are some great historians and writing about, but that's kind of his shtick now a little bit, is his knowledge. What thing that happened is Belichick, as a youth, would go to the Pro Football Hall of Fame, and because he went so frequently and had befriended people at the Hall of Fame, they would let him go into, and friends and brother, something like that. They said he would go into the basement of the Pro Football Hall of Fame, where they had a huge selection of books that weren't even part of the Hall of Fame, that he would go down and read about football and learn more about the Hall of Fame. Almost like oh, there's that kid. He's going down there again here at the Hall of Fame, and a real interesting relationship with Bill Belichick in the Hall of Fame. And kind of crazy that that's the way it went down. All right. Let's get it going here with the show right now. No more time to waste. The markets are up and doing well here as well. Let's go to the action here to start us off. And we'll go to the NBA tonight. We've got a 9-game card ready to go here on the morning steam. So I want to hear from you. Get your plays ready. If you do, type into the chat. Just say hello. Type in your plays. Make any comment. You're going to be eligible to win those plays over there at winnable.com that I just mentioned by winning a free subscription to my picks here. And just type in at any time and you'll be eligible for that drawing at the end of the show. Even if you don't win, it's always fun to win the drawing, see your name come up there on the screen. But I would appreciate it if anyone who is a sports bettor would get those picks from me. Really would mean a lot. Even if you win, I don't want to see you pass that up. Even if you don't, turn off the notifications. I'm just trying to rack up the subscribers there a little bit. Okay, let's get ready to go. All right, we got the LeBron Bowl, or whatever you want to call it here, with the Lakers taking on Cleveland tonight. Lakers coming in to take them on here in Cleveland here. So LeBron always looking forward to this one. You can certainly say that LeBron James gets up for this game, no matter how you want to look at it. When he comes in to play in the land here, Cleveland, winners of 4 straight games right now. They come in on a little bit of a roll. Wins over Charlotte, Sacramento, and Orlando twice in a back-to-back here. But look, you can only beat who's standing in front of you. Cleveland needs to keep winning here right now. They got a nice solid record of 28-20 right now. Lakers still continue to look pretty good. 28-17. They've been playing here, kind of put back by the public here a little bit of late, but they just keep winning. They beat the Bulls last time out, 129-118. They got the win. They also beat Dallas, beat Denver, beat Toronto. Lakers looking pretty good. We know Cleveland, one of the worst spread teams really in the league, 8-19 against the spread at home, and 12-25 against the spread as a favorite. So Cleveland's not a great cover here. They are favored by 2.5. Total 234 in this one. Lakers are 12-6 to the over as an underdog. These two teams have not yet met this season coming in. So see if you got a play here in this one with the Lakers taking on the Cavs here today to get us rolling in the NBA. Like I said, this is always a big one for LeBron coming back home, but the Lakers are just 2-4 in their last 6 games against Cleveland. Lakers, like I said, have won and covered 4 out of their last 5. They've gone under in 4 of their last 5. Meanwhile, for the Cavs here, they've won 6 of their last 7, covered 5 of those games. They've gone under in 4 of 6. 13 of the last 20 matchups between these two teams have gone over. Let's see what you like in this one with the Lakers taking on the Cavs here. NBA action for Wednesday. Go to the chat for this one. And the Gibson ratings here likes Cleveland convincingly in this one. They're favored by 2.5. The Gibson rating says Cleveland by 5. Bobby Mack's on Cleveland here. Cleveland not going to let LeBron come back and beat them at home. I don't know if the motivation, though, is as much. I think LeBron's more motivated than a Cleveland team hosting here. No matter how you look at it, no one's ever booing LeBron. I know all my friends in the chat, not really LeBron guys, and I am a LeBron guy, but they're never going to boo him in Cleveland, especially with his philanthropy in the Ohio area. You can have plenty of criticism of other things, but I don't think, always been one of my problems for people who want to criticize LeBron. I mean, the guy builds schools and stuff like that. Okay, I think that's important. 9 Legacy Lakers on the money line. Chris Warren on the Cavs here. And LeBron will still get his, says Greg. Our Tom says Cleveland game to go under here right now. Okay. And I'll make my call here in this one with the Cavs and the Lakers here tonight. And I'm going to probably stick to the total here, I think, at 234.5. Let me take the under here in this one with the Lakers and the Cavaliers. Give me the under in this. I'm going under. Okay. Too easy for me to just go under here. But like I said, under make unders great again in the NBA. Mike's pointed out how many of these games have gone under here since the first of the year, really. Heavy stream of unders still. All right. That's right. You know what, Greg, you're right. When winning the title there in Cleveland, that goes a long way, especially if you're a title-depraved town. Okay, next up, we've got the Bulls taking on the Pacers here. NBA action for Wednesday with the Bulls on the road. They're a road favorite in this one. In fact, it shows 1.5 there, but I think it's actually gone up a little bit. Let's see. I think we can call it 2. I see some 2.5s out there. I see some 1.5s out there, and I see some 2s. Let's call it 2 and 236.5 here, maybe, with the Pacers hosting the Bulls in this one on Wednesday night. You got the Bulls coming in here. Did lose their last game that ended their winning streak. The Bulls lost to the Lakers 129 to 118. That halted their winning streak. The Bulls are one of the worst favorites in the league at 6-14-1 as a favorite. Indiana's 14-10 against the spread at home coming into this one. So we know we kind of singled out the Bulls a little bit on some of these games. They are 4-1 straight up and against the spread in their last 5 games. And before the loss, they had beaten Brooklyn, the Clippers, Minnesota, and Boston for some impressive wins there. Those last 3 for sure. For Indiana here, they're just 1-4 straight up and against the spread in their last 5. Their win, it was against Oklahoma City, but they did have losses to Detroit, Philadelphia, Boston, and Atlanta here of late. Indiana's gone under in 8 of their last 11 games, and 5 straight meetings between these two teams have gone under. Indiana did win 120 to 105 at Chicago back in December. That one went under. The one in November at Indiana was 103-101. Pacers got the win as a home underdog. That one went under. What do you think here in this one? Let's hear from you in the chat. I'm afraid I'm going to take another under, guys, here in this one. These two teams are combined 39 and 54 to the under. Indiana is 16 and 24 to the under as an underdog, and the Bulls are 9 and 12 to the under as a favorite. I'm going to have to take another under here today with Indiana and the Bulls.
Steam play.
Got some steam coming in here right now, and we'll see what it is here. Let me get these plays out, though. The Gibson ratings here, kind of leaning Chicago there. Also, Dimitri Mamo, always great to have Dimitri stopping by with us. He's going to take the Pacers. Good morning. And also, Terrell, what a quote. What a quote. A 9 legacy here on the Pacers. Greg says it's Wednesday. Dogs will be barking here. Fernando's on the dog, it looks like. And might be it. Good morning to D Money in there. Greg says got to go over no defense. Okay, I gotcha. Yeah. Maybe they have seen some higher scores here, particularly from the Bulls, right? And Robert on the Bulls here in this one. I'll take the under. Some steam came in just seconds ago here on New Mexico State. New Mexico State's taking the steam here in their matchup against Delaware today. They were an 11.5-point favorite at home, but right now, New Mexico State is just taking the steam here against the Blue Hens of Delaware. And New Mexico State's up to 13 right now here on the Morning Steam Show. All right, next up, we've got the Hawks are taking on the Celtics. NBA action here for a Wednesday. Hawks. Let me do this one here real quick, I think. Let me get some steam out there. And it's going to be the Iowa Hawkeyes taking the steam in their matchup with USC. This is our preview game today with USC and Iowa, one of our preview games. But right now, Iowa is taking the steam at -9. They are up to 11 right now. We're going to preview that one in the college segment. But right now, Iowa's taking the steam here from 9.5 to 11 against visiting USC today. All right, Hawks and Celtics here. Hawks come in here having won 3 in a row right now with wins over Memphis, Phoenix, and Indiana. They were underdogs in a couple of those games and won them. Boston here right now. They've won 3 of their last 4, coming in off of a win over Portland, 102-94. They have failed to cover in 3 straight games, but did win 2 of those games. Atlanta comes in here with a record of 16-10 against the spread as an underdog, 15-11 against the spread on the road. Boston hasn't been a great cover this season, and maybe this isn't the best role for them here as a home favorite. They're kind of just 50-50 as a home favorite, but let's see what you have in this one with Atlanta taking on Boston. Atlanta's lost 13 of the last 19 meetings against the Celtics overall, although they are 5-2 against the spread in their last 7. Atlanta's gone 4-1 against the spread in their last 5 games on the road at Boston. They did meet here just 11 days ago. Celtics won it 132-106 as a 3.5-point favorite in the first meeting of the season. Boston's won 5 of their last 7. They've gone under in 4 of their last 5 games. Boston's been an under for sure this season, 19-27 to the under overall. They've gone under in 6 of their last 7 at home. They're 13-19 to the under as a favorite. We're just gonna go under in every game. I might go to the side in this one. I can't just go under in every game, can I? Hey, we got some steam here real quick. I'll let you type in your plays in the Atlanta-Boston game, but let's get some college steam to you. This is Temple taking the steam against Charlotte today. Temple was a 4-point favorite, but the steam just came in on Temple. They're up to 5 here right now. A 1-point move could be still moving. We give you these moves in real time, so be on the lookout, be on the listen for these steam moves from Don Best Sports, as we use actionable betting information here on the show. I'm just not making it up for effect here. These are the games that are actually moving here right now in real time, and then we give it to you here on the Morning Steam Show just to show you what I'm talking about here. You can see the Temple and Charlotte game. I see it here with a little bit. See how it's highlighted here with the move there right now. We get these moves in real time, so we try to pass that along to you as fast as we can so that you can get on the games there if you're interested in that game and try to beat these line moves. So hopefully that's why you're here. That's why the pros watch this show and the bookmakers watching the show in their offices. Hello to those folks watching here today. We've got 3 dozen plus here right now. So here's the steam right now coming in on the game between St. Bonaventure and Duquesne. We're seeing some steam to the under here in this one. This is what it looks like when it comes in red. See right there, moving right now. You see it there, 151.5 at Bet Online there. Currently, it was 154. So you see a 2.5 point move here in real time here on the Morning Steam Show. Just kind of showing you a little bit of the back flare here and how it works on the show. So steam to the under there right now with Bonaventure and Duquesne down to what 151.5. So a 2.5 point move. Those two teams kind of produced some overs for sure, but the steam came in on the under there. All right, I'm talking Hawks, I'm talking Celtics, and want your play here in this one. So let's hear from you in the chat, and I'll go over, see what you guys have here. I will say Boston and Atlanta have gone over in 8 of their last 12 games so far this season. I'm taking the Atlanta Hawks here in this one today. Give me the Hawks on the road here on the Morning Steam Show. We're not going to give out all unders here. Give me Atlanta today. I'm going to try them here. Celtics, look, this is where Atlanta has been good as a road dog here in Boston. Like I said, just about a 50-50 proposition as a home favorite. Man, the steam is hot here. Denver taking some steam, not the Nuggets, but the Pioneers. Denver taking the steam right now in their matchup today with Missouri, Kansas City. Denver here, we already know, look, Denver's a pretty good cover, and I know a lot of people know this right now about Denver. It's actually kind of started the trend, if you will. I don't want to say it's ended or anything. It's still a big-time trend. It's one of the biggest trends of the season, actually. Denver here this season with their overs. I don't know if you've been tracking this. We're previewing this game, but I will say, though, Denver, pretty good cover this season. Missouri, Kansas City's had some issues covering the spread, but Denver has been the biggest over team of the season here so far. They've gone over in 17 of their 19 games this season, the Denver Pioneers, and they are taking the steam here on the side anyway against Missouri, Kansas City. Denver just took the steam here. They are up to -5 right now in that game. But again, just to repeat, Denver this season 17-2 to the over this season. Some steam also coming in here on another one real quick with Nebraska Omaha in their game at home against South Dakota State. We're seeing the steam coming in here on Nebraska Omaha. They were getting 2 in their game with South Dakota State, and right now it's a pick 'em there with South Dakota State, Nebraska Omaha. Here's another one coming in late game here with the under in UCLA and Oregon. Steam to the under in this one between the Bruins and the Ducks. Hey, was on a show last night. I don't know if you caught it, but I was touting the under on the show last night that I was on. It was 138.5, I believe, at that time when I was talking about it, and my pick was on the under. It is down to 135 here, so hopefully you're catching me on some of these overnight show that I'm on, because man, you would have beat the spread there by 3.5 points. Right now it's down to 135 right now. Okay, let me look at your plays here on the Celtics game here. I did take the Hawks, and I didn't even look at your plays. I feel bad. Here we go. Robert on the Hawks here. Chris says that line has moved 2 points. You don't see all that much of a sharp move like that, huh? And good job. He got 7.5. I'm giving it out at 5.5 here right now. More steam here real quick. UTEP taking the steam in their matchup right now as we speak. UTEP in their game here tonight with Louisiana Tech. UTEP is taking the steam at home. They were a 1.5 point favorite. Looks like they're up to 2.5, maybe 3. Yes, 3 right now at Circa, at Bet Online. Steam on UTEP.
Final.
Our Thompson's on the Hawks. Gibson ratings here says looks like that's close to the line there. Maybe it's an under though. Chris was on. There it is at 7.5. Atlanta on the under for Greg. Celtics will cover, says Steve. And Damian says Atlanta plus the points. He also likes the under here in this one. Hawks outright for Markel. Hello to Markel today in the chat. And Greg says might want to check those injuries, Ramon, and this one and see if Johnson is in there today. Okay, thank you for that. We'll take a little peek here at that one. I think this one had one of the ones where it wasn't really affected by any new injuries here. Still got those guys out for Atlanta. Reese Shea, I think they were saying here maybe day-to-day now, even though he's listed as out indefinitely. I was watching the game last night, and they had that on the screen day-to-day. Garza, questionable for the Celts. Quite doubtful here in this one. Boston's unpredictable. Oh, yeah, they win, but they don't cover very often. They're still 29-17 this season. And let's see here. Chris says Atlanta in good form. He got a good number. Yeah, I'm not getting a good number here because I have to wait for the show to come on there. So, all right. Let's see here. Celtics for 9 legacy. And look at Jaylen Brown. He loves this matchup, huh? Jimmy Lambo in the chat. You got the under in that Oregon game with UCLA. Yeah, you know what? I was on a show last night, and I was talking under as well. And look at it now, right? That same thing, Jimmy, like I said, getting that good early number.
Steam play.
More steam here. How about it, man? We're going to be here all night with this going on. Utah State taking the steam here right now in their matchup with Wyoming in the Mountain West. Utah State was a 13-point favorite in this one. They're going up here right now. Utah State taking the steam, and I'm showing them currently at 15 here at Circa. A big move there on Utah State. All right, and Chris Warren, right there. You know, I'm sure I would like to use the song, but I don't think on that channel we can do it. We cannot do it, but I do like that song. I don't know if I've titled the show because of that song, but it's apropos. All right, let's continue on here right now and get to the next one. Orlando taking on Miami here. Miami, a 3.5-point favorite. They are winners of 2 straight. Coming into this one, Miami wins over Utah and Phoenix. A little bit of market tumble here right now, probably because the Besson's been on the TV over here talking, and now it's only going down here. But he's not too late Powell. So Miami here with back-to-back wins and covers over Phoenix and Utah. Meanwhile, Orlando coming in here on a 4-game losing streak right now. Losses to Memphis, remember, in that series over there. Here's what's happened, right? In this one, it's been ever since they returned from that trip to Europe. Yeah, they lost 3 in a row. They lost 4 in a row, actually, because they lost the game in London, and then they've lost to Charlotte and then Cleveland on the back-to-back. So do see that one there. Uh, Also, a little bit of news coming in here. A game between Chicago and Miami. They're going to play on January 31st. Is this a game that's been postponed here from the? Was there a game on the weekend there? That was canceled there. I'm not sure. But Chicago versus Miami, January 31st at 5 p.m. That just in here off the high-speed sports wire. I don't know if that's a makeup game. Hey, IU Indianapolis and Robert Morris. We're seeing some steam to the under here in an IU Indy game. So steam to the under in this one with IU Indianapolis and Robert Morris. It was 160.5. The steam has come in here with IU Indy and Robert Morris. We're seeing this one move lower on some steam here to 158 right now, a 2.5 point move in that one. Okay, Magic and Heat. This is where I'm at with you guys here with that Orlando 4-game losing streak right now. Orlando 7-15 against the spread on the road. Miami pretty consistent here, particularly at home against the spread. They've been a true enough winner for the most part and a good cover at home in this role. 27-19 ATS, 13-9 ATS at home, 12-9 ATS as a favorite. Meanwhile, Orlando just 17-28 against the spread. Funny, I mean, look at how it's been with these teams this year. You have Miami, they're 25-22. Orlando's 23-22. They have 2 less wins. That's a 1-game difference in the standings. But for these teams having virtually identical records, Miami's 27-19 against the spread, and Orlando's 17-28 against the spread. This means that Miami has been totally underrated, and Orlando has been totally overrated this season by bettors and odds makers here. So, well, you know what? Miami just laying a small number. They were actually a 2-point favorite, I believe, early on, but are now up to a 2.5, maybe even 3. It's not 3.5 though. Got to at least take it down. I think 2.5 is a fair price, right? It is a fair consensus price right now. Total it is 229. Let's see if you have an opinion in this one between Miami and Orlando here, action for Wednesday. Orlando comes in just, as we said, on that 4-game losing streak right now. Miami's won 4 of their last 6 and covered 6 of their last 9. Miami's gone over in 5 of their last 6 games. Orlando's gone under in 6 of their last 9. The series is 5-2 to the over in their last 7 of these frequent opponents. Orlando's been winning every game in this series of late, despite not being able. I say that they're actually 1-4 here in the last 5. These two teams did meet. I guess I got this backwards here. These teams met in December. Orlando won them both. 106-105. Miami covered in that one, getting points on the road. And Orlando won 117-108. 4 days later, they did cover 1.5. Here's some steam here real quick. Rice and East Carolina. Some steam to the under here in this one with the Owls and the Pirates. Steam coming in on the under here. That was 141.5. Steam coming in right now on the under. Rice and East Carolina. It is now 139.5. 1.5 point move to the under there. All right, let's hear from you in the chat, I guess, here in this one. Orlando and Miami. Oh, I might have wrote my notes incorrect here on that series here. I thought Orlando, but someone corrected me last night and told me that Miami was actually a little bit better than I gave them credit for in this series. I do all my own homework here pretty much, so there's going to be some errors here and there. But try to believe me on most of these. I gotta go. I gotta go under. I mean, how can I not go under again with this matchup? The way things are going right now. Like I said, Miami here 9-12 to the under as a favorite. Orlando, they're not awful, but they're not totally an over team necessarily, but. Like I said, they've gone under, and I'm going to go under again here. I'm going to go under at 229 in the Magic and the Heat. Okay. Here come the plays from the chat, and we've got the Gibson ratings here on Miami. I think that's a Miami cover and an over there for the Gibson ratings. Robert's on Orlando here. He also likes the under with me. He said it before I did. Here's Orlando for 9 legacy. Steve not happy with what's going on with Orlando right now with this little bit of a losing streak. Here's some steam, more steam. Got to get it in. Charlotte and Temple. Here's some steam coming in. This one to the over. I think this one's probably an over, you guys. Charlotte and Temple, steam to the over here right now. It was 140 in this one. Now it's up to, it's only up to 140 and a half, or maybe going to 141. It was as low as 139 and a half here, but the steam's coming in on the over in this one with Charlotte and Temple. I think I'd probably be looking here to the over. I think that's a pretty solid move, actually, between these two teams, Charlotte and Temple in this one. There are some long-term numbers that kind of hint to an over here as well between these two. Temple has gone not under, but in their last 9 conference games at home, they've all finished lower than 142 and a half. I know in Charlotte they've taken on a team that is a little bit higher scoring. A little bit lower scoring here, the Charlotte 49ers, but Temple, 9 straight conference games at home have all went over this number. So they're not all overs in the over-under realm, but numbers wise, it is an over here. Art Tom's liking the under here in this one. Chris is on the Magic here. And let's see here. Greg says, hey, all the teams end in S except for the Jazz, the Magic, the Heat, and the Thunder. How about that? Seeing more and more, as more teams come on in pro sports, less teams with those S's on the end of their name, right? You think of the Mammoth, the Kraken, here, right? Some of these names. And in women's basketball, especially, they don't like S's. Okay. Orlando's won the last 5. Thank you, Terrell. Thank you. Oh, I don't count preseason. Come on. We can't do that. No wonder people were yelling at me last night. Maybe they were counting the preseason. All right. Normie Powell's the X Factor, but I think he is on the injury report. Here, I think he's going to play, but let me take a peek here. Tyler Hero's out of this one. Franz Wagner's out for Orlando. Powell is questionable. Ware is questionable. And Davion Mitchell questionable here. Wiggins is probable. All right. Robert, probably would have been triple overtime there. Robert went over in the end, but yeah, we're hitting some of these here. And let's see. Greg likes Spoelstra. And NBA All-Star Game, did they go back to the one of the good formats here, though, at least? I seem to remember. I want to take a peek at this, actually, because we are just about 2.5 weeks away, 2 weeks away. It's being played at the beautiful new Clippers Arena right now. But this year is going to be USA versus the world, I think. And they're going to have 2 teams of American players and 1 of international players. You're right. You're right, Terrell. Boring. I agree. All right, let's move on here. Got a busy show. Knicks and yeah, no, I took the under, right? Yeah, Knicks and Raptors here right now, with the Raptors favored by 1.5, and the total 222. I think that's official. I typed these numbers in well before the show. Sometimes when I'm watching tennis at 2 in the morning, and I'm like, I'm gonna take a little nappy poo. Type in the lines and then go take a nap. Uh, Raptors here 1.5, 222. Now let me get it up there on the screen. For Toronto here, coming in 29-18. The Knicks are 28-18. This is the MSG game here. I thought this was going to be the national TV early game, but guess not. Raptors come in here winning 4 straight right now. Wins over Golden State, Sacramento, Portland, and OKC last time out for Toronto. Good run here. Knicks, meanwhile, 3 straight wins over Brooklyn, Philadelphia, and Sacramento. Not the toughest schedule, but 2 teams running in here on a good streak for sure. This total's been beat down a little bit from 225 opener here. In fact, Bet Online opened at 226.5 here, and we're all the way down here now. I'm showing it. Bovada here 220.5. So this thing continues to move lower here with the Knicks and the Raptors. If you caught me on a show last night, I was saying go under 224. Now we're down here to I'll say 222, but it's probably 221.5 at minimum. Here I'm gonna move it again. I'm showing 220.5 at Bovada. So it's a leading square book, but big time move to the under. Let's talk about it with the Knicks at the Raptors here for the New York Knickerbockers coming into this one. They've won against Toronto in 10 straight games. Have the Knicks beaten Toronto here right now. They've covered in 5 straight against them. Knicks are just 6-14 against the spread in the last 20. Toronto's won and covered 4 of their last 5. Although they are just 5-10 against the spread at home, they're 9-14 against the spread overall. Knicks are going to have to overcome the fact that they're 7-15 against the spread on the road, 2-4 against the spread as an underdog here, but 10 straight wins for those Knicks over Toronto. Will it continue today? The Knicks here. Let's see. Some steam came in. Let me talk about this real quick. South Florida just took some steam here in their matchup today with Tulane. South Florida on the road was an 8-point favorite, but they just got hit here just moments ago, and they are up to right now 9 here against Tulane. They opened about 7.5 up to 9 right now. South Florida just took the steam. Okay, so for the Knicks, having won 10 straight, I know those are all regular season. I had to check it out for myself here, but they did play already twice this season. The Knicks won and covered them both, obviously, and they won in Toronto here, 117-101 back in mid-December. Also, the game in November at New York was 116-94. The Knicks smashed in that one. So let's see what you have here in this one with the Knicks and the Raptors today. With the Raptors at home, the Sharps don't pay attention to things like that with trends. They're just more interested in numbers, and I believe that the Sharps are kind of on Toronto here in this game. I don't know if it's necessarily the right move overall, but I do think they are on. Well, you know what? I'm showing them coming back here. I'm taking the Knicks here. I'm going to continue. I'm going to ride that 10-game winning streak over the Raptors. I'm going to take the Knicks in this one over Toronto here. Yeah, they are terrible road dog for sure. Terrible on the road against the spread for sure. And they're just 9-12 straight up. This game's closely rated. Knicks are just 1-5 straight up as an underdog. But this isn't a big spread, so it's going to be a closely rated game. I'm going to take the Knicks here to win this one. Right here, you guys go right now in the chat, and I'll look at it. VAR is on the Knicks. 9 Legacy Raptors and over. The Gibson ratings here are Knicks. Fernando's on the Knicks. Steve says Toronto and under. And Jarrell says that they had a players only meeting, and that's fired up the Knicks. Robert's on the Raptors here. He's also on the under. And Greg says if Brunson and Cat plays, they will win. Let's see here. I didn't know that this was an issue here today. I thought this was a clean injury report. Mitch Robb is questionable for the Knicks, and Murray Boyles is questionable for the Raptors. This one looks like a clean bill of health for the most part. And Terrell said, we don't always know about all the team meetings, do we? Yeah, I guess we do nowadays. All right. And Chris says the Knicks dominated the game he saw. And Greg here liking Toronto getting the he likes them if they were getting the points, but not necessarily giving them. Fair enough. Hornets and Grizzlies here in this one. You've got the Hornets on the road here, favored by 2.5 at Memphis. We've talked about the public's affinity right now for Charlotte, and it seems to be rewarded. I've been talking about this for the last, I don't know how many games, 3 games or so. They're 3-0. Ever since I said, man, the Charlotte Hornets seem to be getting a lot of attention here from odds makers. They've won 3 straight over Orlando, Washington, and Philly. Not the toughest schedule going, but they're 15-10 against the spread on the road. Meanwhile, Memphis 9-17 against the spread at home are the Memphis Grizzlies. But you know what? Memphis here, I don't know if they're playing, they've lost 3 straight to Atlanta, New Orleans, and Houston, but man, this is closely rated. I guess if you look at the spread records overall, I mean, Charlotte would be the dominant team here, but let me take a look, probably go to the total. You know what's coming here probably, but let's see. Could throw a curve. Hit here this one. Charlotte in here coming in, having won not only 3 straight, but 4 of their last 5. Here's a little steam coming in. South Dakota State and Omaha. We already talked about the Omaha steam that came in there, right? Now the steam's coming in on the over here in this one. I don't know about that. Between South Dakota State and Omaha, steam to the over here. It was 148, but right now the steam just came in, and we're seeing this one at 150.5 right now. 2.5 point move or so on the over. South Dakota State and Nebraska Omaha here on Wednesday. All right, continuing on, though, with our preview, the Hornets and the Grizzlies, NBA action here for Wednesday. So Charlotte, they've covered 13 of their last 19 overall, but just 3-9 against Memphis overall. They've always kind of had trouble here in Memphis. These 2 teams did play their first game, I believe, of the season. I think Charlotte blew them out, if I'm not mistaken. Memphis here 1-4 straight up in their last 5, and 4-9 against the spread in their last 13 games overall. 6 of the last 7 meetings between these 2 teams have gone over. Here's some steam real quick. Man, we're having a fun day with the steam today. Houston and TCU. This one seeing some steam to the under here right now in this one between the Cougars and the Frogs. And we're seeing that steam come in on the under with Houston and TCU. It was 137.5, but here comes the steam right now on the under here with Houston and TCU, and that total currently sits at 136.5. So just a 1 point move there, but the line move came in. All right. Anyway, let's see what you guys have here in this one between Charlotte and Memphis here. I only mentioned maybe look, these 2 teams are combined 38 and 53 to the under. Memphis is 10-16 to the under as an underdog, and Charlotte is 11-14 to the under on the road. So let me go to the chat, see what you have here with Charlotte and Memphis here in this one tonight. Might have another under, guys. Just can't help myself, I don't think, in this one. This one I'm not as confident maybe as these other unders that I've taken on the show so far, especially that Lakers game. But let's see what we got here. The Gibson ratings say take Memphis to win this one, and it leans over. Chris is on Memphis here, and Art Tops is on the under. So am I. So I'm on the under. I got to take under in this one. Hope you guys are doing as well as I am on these unders so far in January. I know it's hard. I know it's hard to be pulling for these unders. Let's see here. D Money says the Hornets. And let's see. Greg says full strength. What is it? Full strength will win. Memphis at full strength will win this game. Yeah, I think the injuries are relatively clear, I think, on this one. 9 Legacy Grizzlies on the money line here. Robert likes the Hornets there. And who is betting on the Grizzlies? I don't know, Markel, but I might be. It might be me. It might be me, actually. The Hornets are playing very, very well right now. Memphis going the other direction, but I just think mediocre teams here. I'm taking the under, but remember, we talk about Charlotte playing a little bit better. They're still only 1 game better in the standings, I think, or 1.5 games better in the standings than Memphis record-wise. So I'll take the under, though. Let's just take the under. Timberwolves on the road, taking on Dallas here. This total has totally gone through the floor. Right? If anybody's looking at this right now, I mean, this total is down to 228, 227.5. You see where I entered the number in there and where it is now. And, if I take the under here, I'm not getting the best of it, but wish I was on top of it here. I've been waiting for the show, actually, and here we are with this total totally going down. It opened as high as 232.5. We're down to 227.5. Now, look, there could be. We know that Cooper Flagg is questionable here in this game. I would imagine he might be out the way we're seeing this line move. We don't know for sure yet. And also Anthony Edwards, questionable in this game as well. So that's affecting the total that both these guys could miss here tonight. And that's seeing this total drop big time here in this one. Between Minnesota and Dallas. So let's see what you have here. But for Minnesota, they come in here having gone just 3-6 against the spread in their last 9 games overall. Minnesota's dropped 5 of their last 6 games coming in. They are in off of a win, however, last time out over Golden State, 108-83. Steph sat out that game. That was the second game of the back-to-back there that was caused by that murder here. I know the righties got a little excited, but you heard the administration. They're definitely, going the other way. Although we've seen some action here, kind of saying, whoops, sorry about that. Too late now there for that nurse. For Dallas here, meanwhile, they were hot, so Minnesota was cold and they won a game. Dallas was hot, they lost a game to the Lakers, 116-110 as a 4-point dog there. So Dallas has been playing well, did lose one there. Dallas is 15-11 against the spread at home, 17-13 against the spread as an underdog. Minnesota, meanwhile, 15-22 against the spread as a favorite. Not their best role at all here. They're obviously, they're better than Dallas. We know that. But Dallas has been okay of late. They're really doing well. You want Flagg in the lineup, but you want Ant in the lineup as well. We just don't know. So we're kind of making our pick here. It feels like kind of without all the information, right? If you know what I mean. Minnesota's gone under in 4 of their last 6. Dallas has gone under in 8 of their last 12. 6 of the last 9 meetings between the two have gone under. Minnesota's 16-21 to the under as a favorite. These two teams went under in their only meeting this season, a 120-96 win for Minnesota against Dallas at home on November the 17th. So, look, if I did give out the under, just know that this one has dropped about 5 points here right now. I've got the under here. I saved it, try to anticipate. And, I do another show overnight and say, you know what, I'm going to do this and that. But I'm going to go under here in this one. We've already missed the boat here. And I'm still going to take a piece of it, but it's going to be my free play here at 228. Yeah, that's at least missing out on 4.5 points, but I feel like the under is the right call. Here we go. Let's take a look at you guys on this one. And yep, you guys are talking about it right there, like 232.5. The Gibson ratings here says I think the Gibson ratings are leading Dallas. Chris Warren also got that good number, and he's on Minnesota here, minus 7.5. Fernando Mendoza's here, everybody. And the Hoosiers were there at the basketball game last night. The football team getting honored there at the game. We're only talking about because Fernando's there. Mavs team total under. And we shall see. I hope they get more than that. Here's the Mavs for Robert. And he's on the under as well. Chris says that under is good if you got that good number. Mavericks on the spread for 9. Legacy. Steve says gotta have to wait. Yeah, this one you might want to wait. I know I say, look, we want to anticipate. We want to be out in front of the market. I'm not sure. My call here would be one of the two players is missing, right? Sometimes I think, one of the things I do is get these injuries right. But a lot of times it's just putting the pieces together. And I think that's no problem here with Steve, what Steve says, because with two players out, you definitely just don't know. But a lot of times you just kind of put the pieces to the puzzle together. You might not even have the official information, and you can anticipate the move, and that means players in or out. And I think that's why I get it. That's why I get it right some of the time, if not a lot of the time there. But nonetheless, here I might want to see more. But hey, I'm on the morning steam right now, and I got to decide. So I'll take the under. Mm-hmm. All right. And the Greg says Marshall's looking good for that. Right. That's not, hey, I don't think there's any problem right now if you're a Dallas fan. This is a tough season. They're probably not going to make the playoffs here. Maybe they will. They'd have to get on a roll, but all right. Thank you, Terrell. Let's do it. Let's do it, Terrell. And Mavericks are in good form. All right, we've got a couple more here right now in the NBA. How about the Warriors taking on the Jazz tonight in Salt Lake City? The Warriors come in here having lost 3 of their last 4 games. They're 26-22. They come in here off of a loss last time out, as we mentioned, to Minnesota. They beat them the day before, and then they got blasted the next day. But they also had losses to Toronto and Dallas before that. Utah's lost 3 straight here right now, and they're really not coming close. Actually, with losses to San Antonio, Miami, and the Clippers, failed to cover any of them as an underdog here. So maybe a little bit tough. We're already seeing this line. Look at this. Well, it is down to 9.5 here. It was 10.5, but you know what? Went down to 9.5 here over the last couple of hours. And the total in this one, about 240 for sure here. And look, I don't know if I'm going to go with the total here in this one, but I tell you what, it's not going to be on the under. I don't think so here. We do got to check the injury information. Just interesting that Golden State, look, Jimmy Butler we can make fun of him a little bit. We can say maybe he's a little chemistry breaker, kind of, but it's hard to replace those points in this Warriors lineup. We know, look, the Warriors are probably they're going to have to fight here to get this playoff spot, this playoff team in the playoffs, but they are 28-22, and they can still get there. Let's see here. Kuminga's been out for a while. Peyton's probable. Draymond's probable. For Jazz here, Nurkic, questionable. Keontae George, questionable in this one. So, but just missing Butler, that is it's a big deal for this team. It's going to be for the rest of the season, I'm sure, here. So let's see what you have in this one with Utah and Golden State here tonight. I want to hear from you in the chat in this one. Like I said, Utah not very close here right now in some of these games, but they have gone here just 4-9 against the spread in their last 13 against the Warriors. The Warriors have won 9 of the last 10 in this series. Warriors are 13-7 straight up in their last 20. They've gone over in 5 of their last 7 games. For Utah here, just 1-7 straight up in their last 8. 1-4 against the spread in their last 5 at home. 1-4 against the spread against the Warriors in their last 5 games at home here. It's a lot of points. And the Warriors, not exactly the greatest of road covers here this season, just 9-15 against the spread on the road. The Jazz are still 15-10 against the spread at home. No matter how you look at it, I mean, that's a pretty decent record, even if they haven't been that great here. So Warriors are on this road trip here. This is a 4th straight game right now as they're trying to get back home here. But Utah, this is their 5th straight game at home. They have not been playing well here once again right now. But let's see in the chat first before I make my call. Here we go. And it's going to be, Chris says, I don't see how you can do it right now. I don't see how you can lay it with the points there. And Utah here for 9 legacy. And Greg says Warriors going to take them out big time. The Gibson ratings has Warriors here to roll. But Chris can't do it. Robert's got the Jazz here. Steve says he has to go over on. I'm with you, Steve. Look, I mean, I know it's almost a shtick at this point with me and the unders. I just try to be as honest with myself. I'm with you. I'm going to take the over. Steve said over. We haven't taken an over yet, have we? I like the over in this game. Let me make it clear that I'm not just let's take a under on every game because under's covering so strong. Let's show that I can zig and zag a little bit. I love the over. Why wouldn't you love the over in this game? These two teams are a combined 57-38 to the over this season. The Warriors are 23-12 to the over as a favorite, and the Utah Jazz are 18-7 to the over at home. So I'm going to go over too, brother. Let's go over in this one of the Warriors and the Jazz, okay? Hey, we got a little bit of breaking news here right now coming in right now, and I think we've got to go with breaking news. All right, we're trying to round out all the coaching moves here in the NFL, and we got a breaking news story right now for all my Browns fans out there. The Cleveland Browns have hired Todd Monken as their head coach here, ending their long search. They've made a decision here in Cleveland. I don't know if they've hit a winner here right now, but the Cleveland Browns, after firing Stefanski, I know a lot of people were still, they could stick around with Stefanski. Some of the Browns fans wouldn't have had a problem with it, I don't think. But they fired him back on January the 5th. And right now, this final twist and turn in this process will be Todd Monken, the former Baltimore Ravens offensive coordinator. The 60-year-old here gets the job in Cleveland. Uh, you know, really for a while here, it felt like he was kind of an afterthought. So I think this one comes in out of, I don't want to say out of left field right now. Maybe my Cleveland fans in the chat can tell me their reaction here right now. But the ownership did say they were probably going to decide today on the move. So Todd Monken, the former Ravens coach here, gets the job in Cleveland. So look, a lot of people thought he would actually follow Harbaugh to the Giants, but they like him here. He eventually wins out reportedly over Shieldhouse of the Rams, and also Jim Schwartz, the defensive coordinator of the Browns, was also a candidate here. Also, Grant Udinsky of the Jaguars was under consideration, as was former Chargers head coach and Commanders offensive coach Anthony Lynn. So for Cleveland here, they've decided here on Monken there with this roster. So one thing that works in his favor is his years working with various quarterbacks in his career. He's had some pretty good success here. We'll see what he does here with these quarterbacks, because right now you have Deshaun Watson, who hasn't played since early season in 2024. Dylan Gabriel, NFL flag football star Shador Sanders as well. So we'll see what Monken does here with this Cleveland team, and that one just in. Obviously, he's worked with Lamar Jackson for quite a while here. He won. Jackson won his second MVP award working with Monken there. So that just in here, Monken gets the job in Cleveland. All right, and we're going to get back to the action here after we took that over there in the Warriors. Let me see what you guys had in this one after that comment. Terrell said bounce back for the Jazz here. Warriors will punish Utah. I don't know. I mean, I might have a premium here. We'll see about that. And anybody commenting here on the move here? Warriors over here for our Tomps. And Greg thinks it might even go up to 12. And, Chris does not like it. Chris is not liking this one. Hey, good morning to Sports Money in the chat today. Thank you, Sports Money. And also here, let's see. We should thank you, Greg. I don't think we actually covered the other moves here, right, with Joe Brady, who's been the offensive coordinator. We talked about all those other names. And once Rivers removed his name, we didn't know, and we still don't know who's going to be the defensive coordinator, although Jim Leonard of Denver is probably the leading candidate there in Buffalo. But, yeah, we didn't touch on that. Thank you, Joe Brady, the offensive coordinator for the last 4 years, getting the job there in Buffalo. Does seem kind of odd, right, but again, that power struggle is what it came down to. Mikey's in the chat. He talked about it there extensively, about the power struggle there in Buffalo between the general manager and former head coach. So, all right, good morning to We Do in the chat there as well. And Greg says Watson was a waste of money. Looks like he's going to get one more chance in this league. He's getting old. Getting old there a little bit, right? All right, and let's see here. That's a great point, Chris. A great point. All right, and Stop Geo. Hello, thank you, Stop Geo. All right, we got one more game on. We've only gotten through the NBA so far. There's the ESPN breaking news. You know why you're on the morning steam here, right? You're always with me here with these breaking news tidbits. We get it before the national headlines, because over here I'm on my tweet deck making sure it doesn't crash. One more here on Wednesday night. It's going to be the Spurs and the Rockets here in Houston. Spurs come in 31-15. Houston 28-16. Got a real good game here for sure. This might be the game of the night. I thought the Knicks and the Raptors also, but this is the ESPN late game here. Houston comes in off of a couple of wins here over Memphis and Detroit. They actually didn't get the money against Memphis last time out. They were favored by 11 in that one. San Antonio, meanwhile, off of a loss to New Orleans here, but San Antonio 10-6 against the spread as an underdog. Houston 18-22 against the spread as a favorite. Not their best role here. Houston's gone just 3-10 against the spread in their last 13 games. They've won 5 of their last 6, however. San Antonio just 1-4 against the spread in their last 5 games. San Antonio also just 1-4 against Houston in the last 5 matchups between these two teams. Right now, though, I can only go one way here in this game, but maybe I want to hear from you first in this one. Sohan is questionable here for the Spurs. Steven Adams remains out right now in this one. Let me hear from you in the chat. Let's say this spread's down to 2.5 here and 220.5. Am I going to go under again here with these two and just to end the show? Look, these two teams are combined. San Antonio 1-9 to the under in their last 10 games. Houston 2-8 to the under in their last 10. 7 of the last 9 games between the two teams have gone under. San Antonio has gone under in 12 of their last 13 games right now. Houston's gone under in 6 of their last 7. Who wouldn't go under in this game? Give me the Spurs. I'm going to take the Spurs on the road. I'm going to take them maybe even to win this game on the money line. Gotcha. Probably going to go under, but I'll take the Spurs in this one to win over Houston here. Houston has kind of dominated this series for sure. In fact, they did win the meeting just 8 days ago, 111-106 is a 4.5-point favorite. San Antonio did win earlier this season at home, 121-110 over Houston. I'm taking the Spurs in this one over the Rockets tonight. I think I like them to win actually here, but take the 2.5 here just in case. I like the Spurs. But I just read you a bunch of under trends. All right, here we go. Chris says, look, he's the one, right? Chris says, if you got 3 quarterbacks, you don't have 1 quarterback. And let's see here. Art Thompson's on the Spurs here with me. Greg Gibson, the Gibson ratings has Houston winning. Rockets on the spread for 9 legacy. Robert likes the Rockets as well. Chris likes Durant in his Trey's prop. And yep, Steven Adams still out there. And Greg says Houston will represent Texas at home. Okay, but San Antonio's in Texas too. All right, I'm taking San Antonio. I'm against you guys, I think, in this one. That's it for the NBA. We got a college card here. An eclectic mix of college games today. Hope I got some of these right. Didn't want to go with all the big, the best games are kind of, mediocre games in big conferences, I thought. So I'm going to look at some small conference play as well here on Wednesday. But let's get it rolling here in Terrell. Well, you know what? You might blame the head coach for that one. All right, here we go. Let's start it off here with Big Ten action with USC taking on Iowa today. Iowa here. We already said the steam came in on Iowa. Got to update. Oh, you know what? Remember when I said it? The steam came in on Iowa up to 11. Might have been dummied up here because it came back to 10. Right now, in this one, it is 10. Iowa comes in 14-5, winners of 2 straight. Here with wins over Indiana and Rutgers. They walloped Indiana, remember, at home, and they did beat Rutgers on the road, but did not, or at home, but did not cover. We were on Rutgers last night with those plus the points, and they got it done. But for Iowa here, they are 9-3 against the spread as a favorite. Pretty good, right? For sure. USC comes in here just 10-9 against the spread overall. Iowa's also 10-4 against the spread at home. So they've been a great cover. They are laying a pretty big number. USC, I thought they showed a lot of moxie, didn't they, in that win over Wisconsin as 7.5-point dogs the other night? They haven't been terrible. They won at Minnesota. They won at Wisconsin. I mean, I know they haven't been terrible. They got a decent record here at 15-5. Iowa's 14-5. So real good game here for sure. Now, USC's been a pretty hardcore under here. They're 0-5 to the under as a dog, 2-6 to the under on the road. And Iowa, however, 9-5 to the over at home and 7-5 to the over as a favorite. So I think the info is a little conflicting here in this one between USC and Iowa here today. Let me hear maybe from you in the chat in this one as we get rolling with our coverage. For USC here, they've covered 4 out of their last 5 games. Iowa's been a strong cover, as I said here. 12-5 ATS in their last 17 overall. They've won 10 of 11 here at home so far this season. Haven't been a great, they've kind of given some back here of late, have the Hawkeyes. They did lose to Minnesota, Illinois, and Purdue before winning those last 2 games. They're just 2-3 ATS overall. USC's gone under in 6 of their last 7 and under in 4 of their last 5 games on the road here. So let's see. Let's go to the chat. See if you've got anything here. USC and Iowa here in this one tonight. Here we go to the chat all-stars right now. Okay, here it is with Greg here. He's looks like maybe USC according to the Gibson ratings here, maybe an under. Robert is going under here as well. 9 Legacy says Iowa on the spread here. All right. Greg says too many points. Iowa win. USC covers. R. Tomp says USC plus the points. I'm going to go over in this one. You know, USC, when they play unranked teams, they are on a pretty strong run of overs in that role. I know this year it's been a lot of unders so far, but I am going to take the over in this one. Might be a little bit of the eye test for me. Like I said, Iowa is kind of going over here of late, but I've got the over in this one at 141 and maybe it's 141.5 here, but I'm taking the over. No, it's 141. I'm showing 142 shaded to the under at Bet Online, but I'm going to go with the over here in this one. You know, USC, when they're playing teams that are unranked, those when they play good teams, those are the low scoring games. It seems like maybe not so far this year for USC, although some of them for sure that have gone under against ranked teams. For example, the game against Purdue, that was a big time under. We know that, but I think against Iowa here, I'm going to go over. And it must be wakey, my man, Robert Dixon. There he is. Thank you, Robert. Good to see you as always. Coming in here, checking in on me and picking an over with me. Thanks, Robert. Good to see you. And We Do says he'll wait for Friday, Nevada and UNLV before he makes a bet. Pick. Greg says USC scores more at home. Oh, definitely. You know, they're actually 6-5 to the over at home. So I think close to that anyway. All right, that's it for that one. Let's move on here. I've got, like I said, I'm going a little bit off the board here. Hope you like that when we talk about some of these games, because we want to keep up. You know, you could look at a good game, right? A game that, you know, like California and Florida State, Cal and Florida. That's a good game, but those teams really aren't maybe, threatening in conference play, if you know what I mean. So sometimes I want to look at some of these games that have an impact, in the standings in their conference here. So I think here we'll go to the horizon with Oakland taking on Fort Wayne. You got Wright State in first place at 8-2. Oakland's 8-3 in second place, and Fort Wayne is in third place at 7-3. So yeah, I think it's a good game. Oakland has the two best players in the conference. I think Isaac Garrett, Brody Robinson, a great combo here for Oakland. They're 12-10 coming in overall. Fort Wayne's hot. Right now they're 13-8. They're on a winning streak. Wins over Cleveland State, Youngstown, Robert Morris, Milwaukee, and Detroit. They've covered 4 in a row as well. Pretty hot here right now are the Mastodons coming into this one. Nothing like a good pachyderm to get a winning streak. Oakland here with a win over Detroit last time out. They did cover on the road there, 95-87, laying 6.5. They did lose to IU Indy, but did have wins over Green Bay and Milwaukee before that. But that was a crucial loss to IU Indy, actually. Oakland comes in here 13-8 against the spread. They're 9-5 against the spread on the road, 7-4 against the spread as a favorite. Fort Wayne's actually 4-5 against the spread as an underdog, but again, they're the hot hand, I think, coming in for the most part in this one. So see what you got here. I think it's a good game here to get it going with Oakland and Fort Wayne here today. I want to hear from you in the chat as I look at, keep you on your toes there a little bit. And I don't know if it makes you kind of search for the games here, search for the picks here real quick. But I'm going to go with the Oakland Golden Grizzlies here in this one. Hold on a second. I think I got that wrong. Yeah, sorry about that, fam. I have now look, these two teams have been going over here, but I think I'm on the under actually in this game. Yeah, let me go with the under. Look, if I read the trends to you, you'd want to go over here in this one. Oakland's actually 14-7 to the over, 8-3 to the over as a favorite. The Sharps are on the over as well here, but I'm actually on the under here in this one between Oakland and Fort Wayne. Fort Wayne, a pretty solid under at home for the most part. Maybe not this year. They're 4-3 to the over at home, but historically, the games aren't usually this high scoring. I know, they're playing Oakland here, so I think they're anticipating a high scoring game. They did play already this season. It was 101-92. Oakland won the game. Not even overtime in that one, but Fort Wayne did win at home last year, 80-66 as a 3.5 point favorite. So I'm actually going under here in this one between Oakland and Fort Wayne. And don't put anything into that statement that I made about Oakland. I just read the note. Sometimes I tip my hand and you might say, oh, I think Ramon likes it. But no, that wasn't the case. I don't have a pick on the side just yet. It's just the under for me in this one. Okay, here we go. With Greg says he's got Oakland, I think, here in the under. Hello, good morning to Flea Mathis. There's our Tom's. I think our Tom's put under before I did there, even kind of showing what I was feeling there, I think. And Greg says maybe that Oakland could be a Cinderella team here right now. Look, there's a one bid league every time for the most part, right? So you're going to have to win the conference tournament no matter what happens here. You might be able to win this. I don't know. These teams are okay, but really it's just right now. Fort Wayne is kind of the surprise team of this group here right now. Northern Kentucky, they've been a disappointment this season. I think Oakland overall is the better team. Maybe I will be on them eventually. I don't know. All right, Fort Wayne for 9 legacy. Next up, Davidson and George Mason here. Action for Wednesday with uh, Davidson and Mason here. We got Mason, an 8-point favorite here at home, total 135 in this matchup. Mason hosting here. Let me get the info here of this one. Pardon me, fam. Seem to have lost my notes here. Here we go. For George Mason here, they have won 9 of their last 10 games overall coming into this one. Davidson, meanwhile, just 4-2 in their last 6 games overall coming into this one. Mason comes in here with an 18-2 record right now in conference play coming into this one. Mason here on a strong run for sure in the A10. We know right now Mason on 6-1. St. Louis is a game and a half ahead at 8-0. Davidson, meanwhile, 4-3 coming in, but this is a featured matchup of the A10 tonight. Mason did just lose, remember, in that game to Rhode Island, 74-65. That cost them here because they were undefeated, and Rhode Island hasn't really been, they're a 500 team in conference play. For Davidson, they just lost to VCU 75-69, but Davidson is 5-1 against the spread on the road. George Mason, however, is 9-5 against the spread at home. Let's see if you have a pick with me in this one between Davidson and George Mason. Let me get some steam here real quick while we're letting you take a look at the teams, maybe looking at your app a little bit, see if you want to make a pick with me on the game. Baylor is taking some steam here right now in their matchup today with Cincinnati. I was talking about this game on another show last night, kind of talking about Cincinnati here maybe as my pick, but Baylor is actually taking the steam here in this one. They were, when I was on that show last night, they were getting 4. Right now it's down to 3. Right now, Baylor just took the steam against Cincinnati today. All right. Let's see what you got here, though, with Davidson and George Mason here. Mason, like I said, comes in here with an 18-2 record. They've got a great balance, really. Both teams, good balance here. I don't know if they have one, a particular star. I mean, with Mason, you got, like I said, a good trio of players with Mincy and Alan Spock and Long. Davidson, good guys too, with the Blums, Brown as well, and Patiu. So what do you have here, Davidson and George Mason? I'm going to go to the chat, see if anybody wants to pick along with me. All right, let me see what you got here. Anything? Mason, a big favorite here. Here we go. Great. The Gibson ratings like Davidson, I think, in this one and over. 9 legacy, George Mason on the spread. Greg says they're not going to cover that. Art Thompson is on Davidson here as well. All right. Yeah, I mean, we're not going to get a lot of comments out of the chat with this one, but I'll make my call here in this one between Davidson and George Mason. I'm going to go to the under. I'm going to go to the under here with Davidson and George Mason. I think for me, look, there's not a lot of trends one way or the other, I don't think, in this matchup. Davidson's gone under in 4 of their last 6, but just I'll mention this, that 5 straight games here between these two teams have gone under, and 7 of the last 8 meetings between these two teams have produced fewer than 135 points. So, yeah, you know what? Maybe Mason's scoring a little bit more this year. They're only 10-9 to the over and 9-8 to the over as a favorite. Davidson, 9 overs, 9 unders, and 3-4 to the under as an underdog. But like I said, when you've got 7 of the last 8 meetings between the two programs, basically going under this number, I'm going to go under there. I'm not going to look at the whether or not they're going over under. I'm going to look at the averages when these two teams meet. These two teams have not met yet this season. They played to 144 last time they met, but that was the last time but before that, their game totals here 126, 112, 132, 130, 134. So I'm going to go with the under. Okay, I want to mention this one. This is a write-in game here. Remember, this was postponed, I think, from either yesterday. Was it yesterday or the day before? With Tennessee and Georgia. So we got a makeup game here at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. No special time, really. Just it's a write-in game, and Georgia's favored here by 6. I'm sorry, I'm Georgia's favorite. No, it's a pick'em now. Wow. It's a pick'em here in this game. Let me update that line. Boy, a pick'em and 160 still. So they've got that total here with this. Like I said, the steam came in on the under. Remember when we were just a short time ago? It's 159. Okay, it is 159 at most of the books. It's 160 at the sharp books, which kind of means you're supposed to hang out on the over still, maybe. Here, but got to respect the steam, as you guys tell me, as I try to tell you. But Georgia here at a pick, maybe one in a few places. I'm actually seeing one book here. BetMGM has actually drifted up to 1.5, but you got to lay $1.25 there. So basically a pick 'em here right now. Tennessee's been alternating wins and losses in their last few games. They're off of a win at Alabama last time out, 79-73. Georgia, meanwhile, comes in off of that 20-point loss at Texas. I was on Georgia in that game. I remember that one. But see what you got here with Tennessee and Georgia here today. A write-in game, makeup game postponed, and they're making it up here right now in Athens. You got Tennessee just 4-8 against the spread in their last 12 overall. They've won 13 of 19 here coming into this one. Tennessee's just 3-9 against the spread in their last 12 games against the Dogs. Georgia, though, just 3-7 against the spread in their last 10 games overall, despite the fact that they've won 11 of 12 games at home here coming in. They are 16-4 straight up this season, but like I said, they're kind of struggling to the number right now. Neither of these teams are that good to the number, although Tennessee, they're not an underdog anymore. They are 2-1 against the spread as a dog, but I don't even know if you can include that. Tennessee is 12-7 to the over here this season. Georgia's 9-5 to the over at home, despite those under trends in the last few games. Like I said, Tennessee appears to be going over here of late. So I want to hear from you in the chat right now with Tennessee taking on Georgia in this write-in game here on Wednesday. All right. Hey, I'm on the over in this one with Tennessee and Georgia. I'm taking the over here with these two. Here we go with Robert's on Georgia here. Greg's the Gibson ratings here might be Tennessee and under, but it's right on the spread. 9 Legacy says Tennessee money line, Tennessee team total all over. And Greg says it's going to be a home team spot here. We do's in the chat. R. Thompson on the under. Greg says if Florida beat Tennessee, then certainly Georgia will win this game as well. There, okay, appreciate that. Yeah, it was 91-67 in that game, right? Weedu's going to go over for sure because the grandma's from Tennessee, but the cousins are in Atlanta. See, you always got to hang with the younger fam members. So the OBC here with Austin P taking on Eastern Kentucky. College basketball action for Wednesday. Throwing a little curves at you here today as we go to the ASUN the A-Sun here. Let me get my conferences right. Right now in this one, you got P coming in here right now, 7-1, tied for first place. Eastern Kentucky is 3-5, but we're also going to talk about another game here in the A-Sun shortly. So two of the top three teams that are all tied at 7-1 are playing today. So I want to talk a little A-Sun action here with Austin P on the road here going up against EKU. P is favored by 2. Call it 1. Call it 1 and 151 right now. All right, there we go. Austin P here favored in this game. They come in here 13-6 overall. Winners of 2 straight over Gulf Coast and Stetson. Austin P 5-3 against the spread as a favorite. For EKU, they're 5-8 to the spread as a dog, 8-11 against the spread overall. They've lost back-to-back games to North Florida and to Jacksonville here in this one. These two teams did meet already back 2 weeks ago, and it was Austin P getting the win. The Governors won at 74-72 as a 7.5-point favorite. So they did not get the number. EKU actually won last year at home, 88-82, but didn't cover as a 7.5-point favorite in that one. So let's see what you got here. Just Austin P. Like I said, they're tied there atop the standings. So this is one of the games that I decided to look at today in some of our other conferences. Hope you guys like that I do that. I think it's going to be a tough game here for Austin P. I'm actually going to take EKU to win this one at home. I'm going to take Eastern Kentucky here. Anybody picking this game with me? Robert is Austin P. Dimitri's on Austin P. Weedu's not sure he's on Austin P. And Greg says the Gibson ratings here has this one as a dead solid under here with these two. I thought I was kind of leaning over here. I'm not quite sure. I know the Sharps are on the under here in this game, but I think I was kind of leaning to the over here with these two. Eastern Kentucky's been having some higher scoring games, like I said, here of late. They are 6-4 the over in their last 10, 5-2 to the over at home, but Austin P's 2-6 to the under as a favorite. I guess they're still favored, but I'm going to take the home team, Eastern Kentucky here. All right, and I'm going to keep it right here in the A-Sun with the other team there atop the standings, and that would be Queens College. Queens is 7-1 in conference play here right now, 12-9 overall. For Central Arkansas here, they are 5-2 in the conference play, 10-10 overall. So they played pretty well. The Central Arkansas is on a 3-game winning streak here with wins over Jacksonville, North Florida, and West Georgia. Queens, meanwhile, coming in off of a loss to West Georgia. That was a crucial loss. They were undefeated at that point. They did have a winning streak before that. They covered against North Alabama. They beat Stetson. They covered against Gulf Coast. They beat North Florida. Queens is 5-1-1 against the spread at home. Since they've come to Division I, Queens has been a great home team. No doubt about it. Central Arkansas just 3-7 against the spread on the road coming into this one. Queens is also 5-2 to the over at home. However, Central Arkansas is 2-8 to the under on the road. So, okay, I just want to take a look at this conference today and see what we got here with Central Arkansas taking on Queens here in this one. And see what you guys have between these two here. If you want to join me in some A-Sun action here today. All right. And I'm going over here in this one with Central Arkansas and Queens. Let me look at that total actually here right now. I want to say it's actually a little bit higher than the total there. Let me see. These two teams have not met yet this season. Last year, the game here at Queens was 161 points there, although the earlier meeting last year at Central Arkansas, which Queens did win, by the way, convincingly, 63-47, but at home, they've scored pretty high against Central Arkansas. They've scored at least 89 points at home against Arkansas in the only 3 meetings. I mean, there have only been here in Division I a little while, but Queens in their 3 games at home over the last 3 seasons against Central Arkansas has scored 89, 96, and 92 points. So I'm going to go over here in this one. All right, in the chat, we've got the Gibson ratings here as, let's see, right on the number there. We use on EKU. Robert likes the under here. And Terrell says high-scoring Queens, team total over. And Greg says you got Queens College here by 4 or 5. That would probably put him on Central Arkansas. Next up, the Green of North Texas here taking on the Tulsa Golden Hurricane. College basketball action for Wednesday night, 8 Eastern and 5 Pacific time. With this one, got Tulsa here coming in 17-3 right now. North Texas 12. Pardon me, 12-8. Coming into this one, we take a look currently here at the standings. Tulsa is 5-2 currently in the American Conference here. North Texas comes in just 3-4 overall. Tulsa trails Florida Atlantic by just a half a game. As good as Florida Atlantic has been, Tulsa's hanging there right with them, mostly because of this 4-game winning streak for the Golden Hurricane right now. They won over Charlotte, UAB, Memphis, and Rice, going 3-1 against the spread. They failed to cover last time out against the Owls, 87-81, as a 9.5-point favorite. North Texas is 1-2 of 3. They lost to ECU last time out, but did have wins over Tulane and Texas Southern here. UTSA here in conference play. Tulsa's 7-2 against the spread at home this season, but North Texas 6-2 against the spread on the road. So what gives here when you take a look at this matchup between North Texas and Tulsa here today? Let's hear from you in the chat in this one. See if you want to make a play here with me with North Texas taking on Tulsa. All right, I'll go to the chat maybe here in this one. North Texas is 6-12 to the under this season. Tulsa's 13-5 to the over. Tulsa 11-3 to the over as a favorite. North Texas 3-8 to the under as a dog. So I don't know, which way would you go here with these two? These two teams did meet already. It was 72-68. North Texas got the win. They've beaten Tulsa in all 4 meetings that they've had. North Texas did cover. They were getting 3.5 in that one at home against Tulsa, getting that win. So that shows you that Tulsa loss there, pretty significant here with 2 losses right now in conference play, right? For UAB, they've beaten, for North Texas here, they've beaten Tulsa in 4 of the last 5 meetings and covered the spread in those 4 meetings overall. But only 4 of them, I think, have been recent here, actually. And they've all been one. It's North Texas 4 straight wins and covers. I think that's fair to say. North Texas 7-2 against the spread in their last 9 overall. They've gone under, of course, in 7 of their last 10. Tulsa's gone over in 5 of their last 6. Tulsa is 11-5 ATS in their last 16 overall. They've won 14 of their last 16 games. Like I said, 17-3, great record here. Let's see what you got with North Texas taking on this hot Tulsa team here tonight in Oklahoma. I'll get ready to make my call here with these two. And I'm going to take the North Texas Mean Green plus 9.5 points. I think here I'm more interested in taking the points here in this one. North Texas, look, yes, Tulsa's been great. Yes, they've covered, but North Texas covers too, despite the fact that they are, don't have as good of a record here. But I'm going to take North Texas in this one. Here we go with the chat a little bit. I think Terrell is on Tulsa here. The Gibson ratings definitely favors Tulsa. Tulsa in the under, he says. 9 Legacy says North Texas on the spread. And Weedu says North Texas beat the Gophers. Is that what that says? Did they beat the Gophers this year? Good on them. No. Maybe I'm reading that wrong. Maybe it's supposed to be a different team. Robert's on North Texas with me here. Take North Texas. Greg says Tulsa, though. All right. Keep it moving here right now. And, we're doing extra college basketball. There's only 3 games in the NHL. Stay tuned for all my NHL fans here. We've been hot. We're going to pick some winners. But I got a couple more in college basketball here. Some of the smaller schools today I'm taking a look at include Sam Houston on the road here, taking on Missouri State. Got to look at this one here with Sam on the road. And, let me go out here and take a look at the standings right now in Conference USA. Missouri State, Liberty is 9-0. They're going to run away with this for sure. We got Missouri State here, last-ditch effort here, probably already down to 6-3 right now for Louisiana Tech, or for Sam Houston here. They come in 5-4, but just seemed like a good matchup here with Missouri State favored by just 2, maybe 2.5 points. Sam Houston's won 4 straight games right now with wins over Jacksonville State, Florida International, Kennesaw, and Western Kentucky. Covered them all. Missouri State, meanwhile, back-to-back wins against New Mexico State and UTEP. They've covered 3 straight. Sam Houston's one of the best spread teams in the country. They're 14-3 against the spread overall, 10-2 against the spread on the road. But Missouri State has covered 8 of their last 10 coming into this one. They've been just fine here as well. They are 7-3 against the spread as a favorite, but Sam Houston's 8-3 against the spread as a dog. Sam Houston's gone over in 8 of 11 games as an underdog. Missouri State just 3-7 to the under as a favorite here. So see if you had a pick here with this one. Sam's covered 6 of their last 7 coming in. They've won 5 of their last 6 overall. Like I said, totally terrific on the road, but Missouri State's covered 8 of 10 here right now, and they've won 6 straight at home, and this is a very closely rated game. So even though the numbers may point to Sam here, Missouri State could be favored for a reason here, maybe, huh? See what you got in the chat here. And Greg, the Gibson ratings likes Missouri State. I'm taking Sam. Give me Sam Houston here. I'm the one talking Sam Houston up there, I think, is what's obvious right now. These two teams have not met in a couple of years. So last time they met here was 69-60 in favor of Missouri State. I'm going to take Sam. And what's happened to the market here? They were trying to rally, and we seem to be a little bit going under here. All right, one more in college basketball. I'll try to make it a little more interesting here. No, that's it. I'm sorry. That is, let me see. Is that it? No, I got one more here. I got to get back to the major conferences, so I get some comments here. Stanford and Miami tonight. Here, Miami, pretty big favorite here by 9 in this one, and the total here 146. This one's at 9 Eastern and 6 Pacific here at Miami. And we'll see what you got here in this one with the Hurricanes here at home. Let me check the line here real quick. It's currently at 8 and 147. There we go. I knew it had moved. There we go. Yep. 8 and 147 here for the Canes at home in this one. Miami 16 and 4 this season. They did lose 2 of their last 3. They lost to Clemson. They lost to Florida State as well. They did beat Syracuse last time out, 85-78 on the road as a 2.5-point favorite. Nice job there by Miami. They are just 6-8 against the spread at home. Stanford's 5-2 against the spread as an underdog. The widely reported Steam did come in here on the under, I think, but doesn't look like it's really moved that much to the under. In fact, it looks like it's going back up here a little bit. So I think that kind of bodes well if you like the under like I might. Let me see what you guys have, though, here in this one. If you want to take a crack at this one with Stanford and Miami here on Wednesday night. That's going to be it for the college basketball segment. Miami's won 12 of their last 13 games at home, 11 of their last 13 overall as well. Stanford just 1-7 against the spread in their last 8 on the road right now. That dates back to last season. Some people might have them covering here actually in a game recently at Virginia Tech. They were getting 3.5. Oh, no, they won that game. They won against Virginia Tech. They won against UNC. They might actually be I'm going to call it 3-7 in their last 10, dating back to last season. I might have messed up my notes there a little bit. Stanford here has gone under in 6 of their last 7 games right now. Miami's gone over in 9 of their last 11, but that widely reported Steam, like I said, maybe still some value here if you play it like I do sometimes. The fact that the Steam came in on the under, and well, it's 147, and the Steam came in, actually knocked it even a little bit lower than that original 146 number, actually. So, all right, let's go and let's make a pick, and then we're going to get to the hockey, and then we're going to be done with the morning steam. I've got the under here in this one, of course. Give me the under with Stanford and Miami. This one I will chase. I don't know if it is chasing the steam if it's gone back up, but I'm going to take it under. The Gibson ratings here says take Stanford. And 9 legacy on the Hurricanes here. Bobby Mack is on Stanford. Greg thinks Stanford can hang in here. Yeah, right, Terrell? Maybe that's why I did a little pause there. Didn't it seem like it when I was saying, let's look at this game? And I'm like looking at I'm looking, because, I do go in chronological order, and I'm looking at the 5 o'clock games, and I'm scrolling through, and I'm like, did this game not tonight? James says, how about the early bat? Yeah, let's take a look. Let's take a look at the early basketball game, right? There's only one here, and we only got all these 3 hockey games left. So let's pop it up there. Let's do a graphic, and let's look at the early game here. Maybe make a pick on the fly. Good call. Good call there, James. Let me pop it in here and make a little graphic even for this one. I know it's I wouldn't have done it if James didn't say it. You got Mississippi Valley State coming in. They are just 1-19, but James, we gotta have a bet on. I don't care if they're 1-19. If this is a standalone game, we got to do it. They're at the Southern Jaguars here, 21-point favorite, and 142. We'll be playing neck here. The band will be playing neck. If you know, you know. Who knows in the chat what I'm talking about? I mean, I was singing the cameo song. You're talking out the side of your neck long before HBCU schools were playing the song as the band started playing the song. Okay, hey, you're talking out the side of your neck. I'm that old. Okay, Terrell, you with me? All right, it's Mississippi Valley State taking on Southern here in this 21-point spread here. So maybe we have to dig out the old almanac, the sports almanac, to get a read on this one. Missouri Valley comes in 1-19 right now. I don't know when they won their last game. Actually, you're gonna make me peek here. I think it actually was within the last couple of games here, but let me take a look here. Actually, Mississippi Valley's win. Oh no, and what? It was a non-Division I game. Actually, I don't even know who they played. I'm looking at on Ken Palm. I don't know what MUW is. Help me out here, chat. Oh my gosh, even I don't know this. Oh my god, I'm embarrassed. What is it? Oh, yes. How can I forget? This is one of my favorite colleges at all. How do I not know what MUW is? They actually have a pretty strong baseball program. And if you know, you know, and I should have known. Of course, they beat MUW, which is, of course, the Mississippi University for Women in Columbus, Mississippi. Look, they do have a pretty good baseball program. This is, if you know the story of MUW, they were the Industrial Institute and College for white girls back in the day. But that's who they beat. It was a team of men, but it's not like it's all women, but that's just the name of the school nowadays. So they beat MUW as their only win of the season. It was 97-61. They've lost them all since then, of course. Is Mississippi Valley on the actual bottom of the overall standing? I mean, the ratings in the Ken Palm here. I'm sure they are, right? Yeah, they are. They're the Mississippi Valley. I better fix my graphic here, otherwise I'm making a mockery of this game. But Mississippi Valley is the lowest rated team in the nation here with their 1-19 record right now. So darn you, James. All right. They've covered some spreads. They're 7-6 against the spread on the road, 9-10 against the spread overall. You know what? That might be a little bit better than Southern. Southern's 1-4 against the spread as a favorite. There, so I don't know, maybe they learned something. That game against Mississippi University for Women was the second game of the season, so it's been 20 straight, whatever it is, 20 straight losses here right now coming in. So look, a lot of these, I've been talking about the unders in the HBCU conferences, but I think I'm going to take the over here in this one, and don't hold it against me here. But I'm going to take the over in this one between Mississippi Valley and Southern. Southern is 9-7 to the over. Mississippi Valley is 4-7 to the under as an underdog. These two teams have not played yet this season. Last year's meeting was 63-42. Southern did not cover lane 21, by the way, and that was at Mississippi Valley. So, all right, let me go to the chat in this one. All right, see what you got. There's Terrell. Yeah. And Terrell knows that my favorite cameo song was Alligator Woman. All right, let's see here. Southern U, the Gibson ratings obviously is going to be on Mississippi Valley here. Way too many points. And thank you, James. We hope we didn't make a mockery of that, but James will take Mississippi Valley plus the points. You know what? If you're going to watch a game here, and no one's going to be putting their a unit on this game, right? If I'm going to be sitting there watching this game as a standalone game, I'm going to be on that team. I'm going to be out there at a sports book saying, "So you watching this?" And again, this game you probably have to go to the actual. I didn't look here, but let me see. Probably have to go to the actual SWAC site to watch it. I've got again, with the SWAC, you can put the app right on your Fire Stick. Go, and those games, most of them are televised on the app. They don't have many network deals. Some of them make their way maybe to ESPN Plus. I'm trying to think, but in the SWAC there anyway, they do have an app you can download. The games are free. But I'd go to a sports set and tell everyone, I'm on this team that's 1-21. All right. That's it for the college basketball segment. Let's go to hockey. There are 3 games on the ice tonight, and let's start it off with the Rangers at the Islanders here. Let me check the goalies here. I don't know if Quick is going to be in here today. I thought they were going to have Rittich is confirmed here for the Islanders. I thought that the Rangers were actually pondering here going with Spencer Martin today, but I guess it's yet to be seen. And I better change. Rittich is in here for sure for the Islanders, so they're on their backup. Everyone knows I have a pretty big affinity right now for Sorokin, but Rittich is confirmed here, and the Rangers are on the road, but I don't know. It's maybe a little different when you're taking on the Islanders, although I think some of the longer trips, the Rangers actually been struggling on the road here of late. They've been giving back all those wins that they had early in the season on the road. For Rittich, he's been pretty reliable as a backup here. He's allowed 3 or more goals in 4 of his last 5 games, going 1-3-1 with a 3.51 goals against. But the first 16 games of the season, he was very good. 10-4-2 overall with a 2.39 goals against and a 92% save percentage. So, look, the Islanders are favored here. It's not $1.45 anymore. I know that. Maybe it is based on the goalie. Here it's down to $1.30 minimum, maybe even lower here. I don't know. Look, I mean, the Islanders, division game here, right? Semi-important game, it feels like, with these 2 teams, especially the Rangers. I mean, they can't get out of last place. Meanwhile, the Islanders are plus 7.5 units here so far this season, sitting in 3rd place in the Metro right now in this one. Why wouldn't they be better than the Rangers in this spot? Taking a look at some of the trends anyway for these guys. The Rangers have gone over in 5 of their last 6 games. They've gone over in 6 of their last 7 on the road. The Islanders, though, have gone under in 4 of their last 6. Islanders have won 9 of 12 at home here of late. The Rangers are still 16-12 on the road this season, but 11-18 as an underdog. Rangers have won 8 of the last 11 meetings between these 2 teams. However, the Islanders have already won twice this season, 2-0 at home last time in December, and also 5-0 on the road in the first meeting. So they've outscored them here in both games, 7-0. 0 goals for the Rangers against the Islanders in these 2 games. So are they going to score today? Got to score if you're going to win. Let's see what you got in the chat here on our first game. 3 games on the ice tonight. This one's at 7 Eastern. Note the time change, 7 Eastern and 4 Pacific. They moved it up a half an hour. I don't think it's weather related or anything like that, but see what you got here with these 2, Rangers and the Isles. I'm going to take look, I know the trends kind of point to the under here, but I'm actually going to take the over in this one. Rittich is in there, not Sorokin. I don't even know if Quick's in there. I mean, we know Quick has had plenty of issues here forced into action. Shesterkin's been on the injured list here right now. Quick has a 3.19 goals against. He's 3-11-2. So talk about the Rangers and that road record, but when Quick's in there, not so much. Even though these two teams, Rangers 24-29 to the under, and Islanders 24-28 to the under, it's not that big of an advantage to the under. But note, Rangers 16-13 to the over as a dog, 16-14 to the over on the road. Islanders 7-9 to the over as a favorite, and 13-12 to the over at home. Again, not big moves, but in general they're under. But in this role, Islanders home favorite, Rangers is a road dog. They go over. So I'm going to go over here. It is 6.5 right now everywhere. So it's a tough one, but I'm going to go over. Okay, here we go with the Gibson ratings. Likes the Islanders here to win. Robert Dixon's on the Rangers. Bobby Mack's on the Islanders. And 9 Legacy's on the Rangers. We got no consensus here. I'll take the over. Next up, Flyers on the road taking on the Blue Jackets here. Man, the Blue Jackets, they're fun. 24-20-7, winners of 2 straight here once again. Can't seem to put together a big winning streak, but it's been a good run for the Blue Jackets here of late for sure. I think everyone can agree on that. Right now, the Columbus Blue Jackets have won 6 of their last 7 and 4 of their last 5 at home. Philadelphia, meanwhile, has gone 2-8 in their last 10 games, although 2-4 in their last. Although 2-2 in their last 4. They had lost. Remember, they were on a losing streak of 6 games there before they beat Vegas. They also beat Colorado. They only beat good teams. Is that it? For Columbus here, they are 13-8 at home, 11-4 as a favorite. Apparently, there's no line on the game because the producer didn't put the line in there. We know Columbus is favored here at home. Call it $1.25 right now. In fact, this line has been a little bit on the move to Philly, actually, I believe. But still $1.25 or $1.30 here. Columbus favored, total 6.5 under at -120. Apologize for typing in your ear there. But Flyers definitely having some woes here. They're also 13-21 as an underdog this season. They're 12-9 on the road. They do a good job on the road here, but Columbus does kind of have their number here. They've beaten them in the last 2 meetings, including the first. This is the first meeting of the season actually between the two. Columbus won the last 2 last year. So Flyers just have a slightly better record only because they haven't played as many games. The Blue Jackets have 2 more losses than the Flyers here. We know the Flyers are a big time over, 30-21 to the over, 16-9 to the over on the road, and 23-11 to the over as an underdog. Now Columbus and Philly have gone over in 8 of their last 12. Philly's gone over in 7 of their last 8 on the road and 10 of their last 14 overall. Columbus, they're just 26-25 to the over and 12-13 to the over at home, but they are 10-5 to the over as a favorite. So see what you got here in this one between the Flyers and the Blue Jackets, but I'm going over tonight in this one. Screw the unders, Ramon says. Take the over. You know what? I want to go over in the Grand Salami tonight. Let's go a special bet here with only 3. Oh, no, we do have it. We do have it. Check the line. I do see one book with the Grand Salami tonight. It's 19.5. And since we don't have a lot of hockey games, I'm going over 19.5 in the Grand Salami tonight. That's what. Maybe I'll just bet the Grand Salami instead of over on every game. Oh, did I just tip my hand on the last game? Maybe I better. Let's go to the last game here right now with. Oh, let me get your comments here. Anything on Robert's on Columbus here? And, Weedu says might be some trouble there in New York here. And Greg says, well, somebody's got to win the Rangers Islanders game, and he'll take the Blue Jackets. Okay, let's go to the last one. The show's over. Make sure you comment if you want to be eligible for the picks. from me, my extra picks here. I really do thank you guys for supporting me here on the channel. My Amazon groceries arrived last night, all paid for by you guys. Talk about arrogant and cocky, huh? Think about all that. Hey, I'm making like $37 a day off the, I've got 41 cents a day. We've got about 100 subscriber. I can do the math. $41, man. The picks must be at least decent. Someone's all right. Having some fun here. We're almost done with our show. Avalanche and Senators here in this one. You got the Avalanche on the road. Paying me for the show. Paying me for this show. The picks are better on the show of late. Colorado here, 15-4 on the road. Colorado showing a little bit of vulnerability here of late. I don't think they're going anywhere, but nonetheless, you do have. Let me see here. Did I quote that time wrong on the Ranger game? No, I think we had it right. Just want to make sure here. Yeah, the Ranger game's at 4, right? And this okay, this one's at 7:30 for sure. Let me get into it here real quick and get you guys out of here. Thank you for spending 2.5 hours on this card with me. It's kind of embarrassing, actually. All right, let's take a look though at this one here with the Avalanche here, winners of 14 of their last 20. They beat Ottawa in 7 straight meetings between the two teams, but Ottawa just 4-8 in their last 12 overall, 2-4 straight up in their last 6 games. We know how good the Avalanche have been. I guess you just got to decide if the price is too high here. In fact, if you like discounts, you're going to like Colorado tonight. They are down to $1. I'll call it $1.50, but that's high. I mean, I think every line is actually $1.50 or lower than this, but you are getting a bit of a discount here with Colorado. I'm showing some books got $1.38 here at Bet Online. Look, Ottawa's over 500, maybe. Fact that Colorado's lost 2 of their last 3 of their last 5. They're on the road here. They just beat Toronto, so they did get a win. Ottawa, meanwhile, just beat Vegas 7-1 the other night. Remember? Crushed them there. Actually, it was 3 nights ago. They're well rested here. Before that, they lost to Nashville and Carolina. Colorado dominates this head-to-head series. They play just twice a year, but Colorado has won 7 straight meetings between the two teams. Colorado's 5-2 straight up in their last 7 games on the road. I know the Sharps are on. Look, it's clear the Sharps are on Ottawa here, given that line move right now. It's going to be hard not to want to take Ottawa actually here. It's just that there's probably no value left. Kind of want to take Ottawa. Let's pump a little steam into you here before we get out of here, and I'll make a pick. But North Texas is actually taking the steam. How about that? Hey, we took them, and just took a while for it to get out there to the public. North Texas was getting 9.5 when we said we were on them here. I'm sorry. That was on that was on here, right, on our show. Yeah, there we go. Make sure we got the right play. We were on North Texas, right, in the Mean Green game there against Tulsa. Steam just came in a moment ago here in this one. Also, guys, I'm seeing a big move in the Columbus-Philly game right now in hockey. More move here to the Flyers here right now. So more discount if you like Columbus. But anyway, I'm just looking here real quick. North Texas, that Steam came in on North Texas. Hey, we were on them, and they're moving here. The current line is down to 8.5 here. It opened as high as 10.5, and we're down to 8.5 here right now with North Texas in that game. All right, here. I'm taking Ottawa. I'm sorry. Sometimes I would not pass on this, but look, this is one of the hottest games from the Sharps on the whole board here today. I know we only got a few games here, and maybe I'll be crying in my Pepsi here, but I'm going to take Ottawa tonight at plus $1. I guess I would have to call it $1.20 here in some of the books, but I'm going to take the Senators here in an upset tonight. Robert likes the over, and that's it. Nobody liked the hockey tonight. They all left. We only got 3 dozen of you in here. But let's do the drawing here real quick. Let's hear from Mikey Money and get this show over with, because everyone's already left us, except for you hardcore better.
Hey, it's Mikey Money here, letting you know the Sports Money team is live on Winnable. Come check out our best bets.
For a low monthly cost, you get the very best bets delivered instantly to your phone by text the moment they're locked in. No delays, no missed lines, just the smartest plays at the best odds.
We do the work, you get the plays, and they're sent right to your phone right when we drop them.
Don't wait, don't guess, don't miss the line. Join the winning team today and start cashing tickets with Winnable.
All right, let me bring up the giveaway here, and we'll just get it done and then get on out of here. Thank you for joining me here on the Morning Steam Show. Real quick, we did film yesterday, VB MMA picks, so check it out if you want to get your weekend started with the plays here on the UFC card for Saturday. We'll be here with the guys, of course, but we have a great card here on Saturday, and it's coming to us from down under. The women blow and men blunder. Can you hear the thunder? You better run, you better take cover. Hey, did you know that Men at Work, their famous song Down Under, they actually had to pay a lawsuit like 20 years later when it was revealed that they kind of stole the famous from a old buried like an old song from like the 1930s, and that actually led to the suicide of Greg Ham, the flautist. Remember the little flautist there and saxophonist Greg Ham? He committed suicide because the pressure of the court situation was too much to handle for him, unfortunately. Colin Hay and Men at Work, right? What were some of their other cool songs, right? They were a hit. All right, anyways, we're down in Sydney, Australia this week for Volkanovski and Lopez 2 on Saturday at the Kudos Bank Arena. And it's Volkanovski and Diego Lopez. Remember, these two just fought last April in Miami. Volkanovski, the two-time featherweight champ, currently the champ. He defeated Lopez by unanimous decision as a 155 favorite. Meanwhile, for Lopez, he had to come back and beat Gene Silva, who we just saw last weekend, via round 2 KO in that Noche UFC event in San Antonio. It was a $2 dog, and he won. Remember, Silva was winning that fight, and Lopez got him, clocked him there in the second round. There, we also previewed lightweights, Vizayev and Hoofy, as our guest Clint McLean told us. You guys know Clint, and he's our special guest this week. And Mauricio Hoofy, they're the DWCS winner from 23. And we also previewed Malkoon and Torres Finney. You know, Finney, he's the first ever 3-time Dana White Contender Series winner. Imagine that. They invite you to the Contender Series. Once you win and they say come back, and then you come back and you win again and they say no contract, come back, and then you come back and win again. They finally put you through, and he won his debut by split decision over Valentin as a 325 favorite. So he is 11-0, but he didn't cover the spread, I don't think, in that split decision win. Obviously they're last out, but those are our previewed fights for the card this weekend. Make sure you check it out here. VB MMA picks on the Sports Money Network. All right, and let's take a look at the drawing here right now and see who wins. AOD, Parma J, Chris, Fernando, Jimmy Lamb, Bobby Mack, Sports Money. The winner is Greg Gibson. The Gibson ratings. Thank you, Greg, for all your comments on every game, man. That's really special what you do. here. I don't take it for granted that you come in here and type those numbers in every day. I know that some people give you a hard time saying, but those are your numbers, and we highlight it, right? When you have numbers that obviously they don't all are not right on. And you know what? I will say this about that. A lot of people, your ratings should be very close actually to the spread. If you don't, granted, you might have one or two every few games like Greg does, and we pointed out when he's got a discrepancy, right? But if your lines are way off on every game, you don't have accurate lines. I'll promise you that. Not talking to Greg, I'm talking about everybody. Your lines should be very, very close, actually, to the, if you got, some teams that you like better than others, no problem. But if you're off on like every game, 5 here, 5 there, every single game, your lines are probably off. Your ratings are probably off, and you should adjust them. And what you should be doing is if you do numbers and ratings and you have 2-3 point discrepancies, you have a pick. All right. Hope that makes sense to everyone. Hope everyone agrees with me. And if you don't, well, that's okay too. All right. Thanks a lot, everybody. I know we've been talking for a long time here on the show, but I've had a great time with you guys here. So thank you very much. We'll be back tomorrow with more Morning Steam. We'll preview the action here for Thursday. And also join Mikey Money today at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 Pacific. Mikey gets you ready for the primetime action with pre-gaming. Here he's got plenty to do in NBA and college basketball. I'm sure he'll preview a game or two of the hockey card here. Thanks so much to everyone in the chat. And see who's leaving me here. Everybody, thank you. It was you better take cover. Trying to think of some other Men at Work songs. Thank you to Bobby Mack in there. And I think that's going to do it. All right, appreciate it. For the Sports Money Network, I'm Ramon Scott. So long.
Break one for cover. That's gonna cover. That's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice with my play parlay. It's the Ramon Steve. Ramon Scott. Sports money. Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money.